Just missed inside. Trying to stifle a smile there. Thinks he got away with one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees down by 2. The pitch. That one's driven deep to left field. Going back, PA. Looking up. See ya. A 3-run home run for Alex Rodriguez. And the Yankees take a 4-3 lead. Down to their last strike. A-Rod comes up with a big strike. A 3-run blast. Well, the Yankees are hoping the excitement of last night carries over to tonight. The Yankee fans are hoping the same thing as they stream into Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the defending world champion New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the middle game of a 3-game set from Oriole Park at Camden Yards here in Baltimore, Maryland. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. What a finish for the Yankees yesterday. They won. Tampa Bay lost, so the Yankees are back in first place in the American League East. And the hero of the night was Alex Rodriguez with 2 home runs, and the one that you just saw in the top of the 9th inning. But big moments in this ballpark, nothing new for A-Rod.
Well, during A-Rod's career, he's hit over 50 home runs against Baltimore pitching, and 2 of the ones that stand out. Let's go back to May 8th of last year. His first pitch that he saw coming off the disabled list was a 3-run homer. The Yankees won that game. And then last night, the Yankees are down. Koji Uehara deals. The Yankees were down to their last strike, and A-Rod made them pay. The home run, 3-run shot. The Yankees win the ball game by a score of 4-3. A-Rod comes through big time in the clutch.
Look what he's done since coming back from the DL, Kenny. In 10 games, 341, 4 home runs, 14 ribbies. He scored 6 runs, high slugging percentage. Last night, 2 for 5, 2 home runs, and 4 runs batted in. Let's take a look now at the New York Lottery pitching matchup for this game. Jeremy Guthrie's going for the Orioles. Don't pay attention to that record, because in the second half of the year, he's been one of the better pitchers in baseball. CC Sabathia, all year he's been great. 19-6, 3.03. Last time out, Kenny, against Tampa Bay, he pitched the gem.
That was Monday night. Unfortunately, he did not get a decision. 8 scoreless innings for CC Sabathia, and he was on his game once again. He's got 19 wins. Once again tonight, he goes for number 20, which he has never reached that height before. So CC Sabathia, if he's on like he was on Monday night, the Yankees have another good chance of winning a game.
But when we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, it's all coming up. Yankees against the Orioles right here next on Yes. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Hager, established 1926. Your own great moment starts at Hager.com. By Bank of America, the official bank of Major League Baseball. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. Well, the Orioles are on the field, and Jeremy Guthrie is taking his warm-ups. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup tonight, which is presented, as always, by our good friends at Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, will lead off. Batting second and DHing back in the lineup, Nick Swisher. Lance Berkman's at first to share with the night off. He'll bat third. Cleaning up the third baseman, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Curtis Granderson in center will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing left field, Brett Gardner. Colin Curtis, the right fielder, will bat ninth. Big crowd here at Camden Yards for the middle game of this 3-game set. Yesterday, just over 32,000. This one looks like it might actually top 40,000 as they continue to file into this great ballpark. Derek Jeter's ready. Guthrie's ready. Let's do it. And Jeter gets plumped. And that is definitely in Guthrie's arsenal. He tries to come inside. Sometimes he hits people, and Jeter got hit.
Well, that is the 14th batter that Guthrie has hit this year. It looks like he got Jeter near the elbow, and he trails only one pitcher. A.J. Burnett has hit 15. So Guthrie up and in with the first pitch. Let's see how aggressive Derek Jeter is at first base. Let's see if he steals second. There are the numbers on Guthrie: 10 and 13, Less than a hit per inning. As Michael said, he's been pitching a lot better in the second half of the season.
Here's Swisher, and there's a strike.
Here we go with the scouting report. It's case of before and after. Before the All-Star break, 3-10 with a 4.77. After, 7-3 with a 2.23. Much better after the All-Star break. And deep six. You know, they talk about pitchers going deep into ball games. 11 straight starts. Guthrie has gone at least 6 innings for the Orioles. So he has been their ace in the second half of the season.
1-1. 1-2.
Nick Swisher getting closer to right field and playing in the field now. Tonight he's a designated hitter. He has always hit well in this ballpark. 325 for his career here.
Look at the numbers against Guthrie. Yeah, that's why he wants to be in tonight.
Yeah, that's that one of those late afternoon batting averages. 542.
I asked him by the batting cage. I said, "Are you 100%?" He kind of tilted his head. I said, "Well, what are you?" He said, 90. He goes, "But I can't sit out." He said, I can't lose my stroke. He said, "I can't sit out forever and wait till I get 100%. I got to play." He says, I got to be able to play.
Well, you know, Joe Girardi's looking at those numbers in his office prior to the game and think, how can I get him in there? Is he good enough to at least be the DH?
Strike 3. Swisher down looking. Let's take a look at the Orioles defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes, and Nick is barking at home plate umpire Tony Randazzo. In the outfield, Reimold, Jones, and Markakis left to right. Infield, Andino, Asturias, Robertson, Wigginton third to first. Tatum behind the plate, and Guthrie is on the mound.
We'll take a look at that last pitch to Nick Swisher. Now, Nick's got a pretty good eye, but the home plate umpire Tony Randazzo said that ball might have clipped the front corner of the plate. Call strike 3. Disbelief on the look of the face of Nick Swisher.
Here's Lance Berkman. There's a strike. Now Lance is playing first base today. Mark Teixeira is banged up. He has a broken pinky toe on his right foot, and he's got a sore right thumb. So he is digitally challenged coming down the stretch. Also a good day to rest him because he has terrible numbers lifetime against Guthrie. And that's what a manager looks for. He wants to give one of his players a little bit of a rest. He said, well, let's take him out against the guy he struggles against. Teixeira is 1 for 18 against Guthrie.
Now you can be sure that Buck Showalter knows that Mark Teixeira is looming on the Yankee bench tonight, maybe in a pinch hitting role if needed.
Fouled away.
And you might expect Teixeira to be back in the lineup tomorrow afternoon as they close out this 3-game series.
Berkman's had a good month of September. 11 for his last 23, 7 for his last 15. The 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Oh, he caught Swisher looking on a breaking ball, and he gets Berkman to chase one. Down and in, and he swings over the top.
And here's Alex Rodriguez receiving many cheers from all the Yankee fans here tonight, and a lot of boos from the Orioles fans. Big home run in the 9th inning yesterday. Now you've seen the replays. Alex, on the 1-2 pitch, it was called a ball, and he kind of looked into the Oriole dugout, and he told me people were jumping over he said 3 guys jumped over the fence to celebrate. He said they were laughing, and I laughed back at them. He said we were just having a good time with it. And then I said to Alex, I said, but when you hit the home run, you stared into their dugout. What was that about? He said, you know what? I'm so used to looking into our dugout in New York. He said, I didn't want to turn all the way around and look at the third base dugout. He said, I looked over and realized, oh, we're not in New York, and I just looked straight ahead and ran. 1-1.
You notice, though, that when he came around to third base, then he looked in the Yankee dugout. Here's the home run.
And there's the look into the dugout.
Yep, wrong dugout.
I asked Buck, what did he think? Buck Showalter, he said, I don't look at Alex. He said when he's up there, he said, I'm not staring at Alex Rodriguez. He said, and I got to be honest with you, he said, he hit a big home run in a pennant race. He said, why wouldn't he be happy? He said, why wouldn't he celebrate going around the bases? He said, I don't begrudge that of anybody. Count 3-1. He's now 1 away from Sammy Sosa on the all-time home run list.
The biggest names in history.
Three-one, runner goes and pitches outside. So they walk Rodriguez. Yankees have runners on first and second for Robinson Cano.
So far, this has been a no-contact inning, except for Jeter being hit by a pitch, a couple of strikeouts, and then a walk.
Well, let's look at the game-time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. It's a beautiful night here in Baltimore. 74 degrees, 43% humidity, not much wind at all. And the forecast, like the sky, is clear.
Cano had another multi-hit game last night, his 53rd of the year. He's second in the league to Ichiro of Suzuki of the Mariners, has 61.
Pitch to Cano, low and inside. Now, Kenny gave you Guthrie's numbers in the second half. Well, let's pin it down even more. Under Buck Showalter, 6-2, 2.64. And when Buck was asked, what's the difference? He said, well, I don't know what happened here before. He said, but we drill into all of our pitchers, establish your fastball early. He said, throw it for strikes, get ahead in the count. He said, and he's listening and throwing it for strikes.
They just threw a nice changeup to Cano, had him well out in front. During his career, Guthrie has not been particularly sharp against the Yankees. 3-8. This year, twice he has started against CC Sabathia and lost both times.
Jeter's at second, A-Rod is at first, just underway here in Baltimore. The 2-1, sliced the other way, down the left field line, foul.
Now you saw a glimpse of the ability of Cano to hit from line to line. The outfielders are just about straight away because he can hit the outside pitch to the opposite field with authority. There's a sinker, it's up. Maybe just a hair late, but he still hits a line drive. This ball is twisting into foul territory. There's no real zone to pitch to Robbie Cano consistently.
Line drive, base hit, left field. Reinbold fields, bobbles, and Jeter is held at third as the throw comes home. So the bases are loaded for the Yankees.
That's the first hit of the inning, and once again, that same pitch. This time he keeps it fair. The only reason why Jeter wasn't able to score, there's a couple of reasons here at Camden Yards. The fences are relatively close, the outfielders are close. Even though Rimo bobbled the ball, the line drive was hit almost directly at him. That way he didn't have to go laterally to make a play and then try and make a throw to the plate. He can have his momentum going right to the ball. And that's why Robbie Thompson stopped Derek Jeter. He didn't see the bobble.
So here's Posada. Before the game, on the field, Oriole people, Yankee people, everybody raving about the ninth inning at bat that Posada had last night. That started the Yankee rally, an 11-pitch at bat against Uehara. And then he lined a single to start off the inning, and that really changed the whole tenor of the inning.
We talk about Jorge being a grinder.
That was a grind him out at bat.
Oh, 2. Guthrie from the full windup now steps off. And the 0-2 pitch. Grounded foul. Boy, Alex Rodriguez is getting a running start at second, where he's almost more than halfway toward third base.
Well, number 1 with 2 out, the infielders are back as Torres at short and Roberts at second. You can see A-Rod at the top of your screen. He's almost halfway to third. He's getting a great secondary lead. And as I mentioned before, they got good outfield arms in Baltimore. Markakis, Jones, and Reimold all can throw well. And because the outfielders play short, because the fences are close, they get a lot of assists.
Foul back.
Just elevated enough that Posada couldn't get on top of it. The pitch was almost right down the middle.
Guthrie winds, kicks, and deals the 1-2. Grounded off the glove of Wigington, and it goes into right field. Jeter scores. A-Rod scores. Cano goes to third. It's a 2-run single for Posada, and the Yankees are on the board with 2 runs.
Another, I guess you could call it a grinded out at bat when you're down 0-2. And you come through and you get a hit. Breaking balls down, gets good wood on it. Wigington couldn't stop it. Continues on into right field, and the Yankees take a 2-run lead. Looked like he was about ready to catch it. Ball hopped up a little bit. And Posada has himself a hit. There's a good arm at Markakis. The throw is cut off. Now runners first and third with 2 outs.
Well, Guthrie has nobody to blame but himself. He hit Jeter, he walked A-Rod, and had to face extra batters. Here's Granderson. Soft ground ball to Roberts. He'll get the out at first, and that will do it. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 2 hits. 2 men left. Yankees 2. And the Orioles come to bat against CC. Happy 33rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she's not coming to the wedding.
I'll bring a gift.
As long as it's cash, she's got a chance. Anyway, let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. Brian Roberts, the second baseman, will lead off. Batting second and playing third base, Robert Andino. Nick Markakis in right, he'll hit third. Cleaning up and playing first base, Ty Wigington. Jake Fox, the DH, bats fifth. Batting sixth, playing center field, Adam Jones. Nolan Reimold, the left fielder, is going to bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Craig Tatum. And Cesar Torres, the shortstop, is going to bat ninth.
Numbers are all good for CC Sabathia this year. When you take a look at them, they will tell you that he is 19-6. This will be his 32nd start. ERA excellent. Innings, hits, walks, strikeouts, opponent's batting average. He's also 13-2 in his career against the Baltimore Orioles. How about this? An Orioles 6-pack. This will be his 6th start against the Orioles this year. He has started in every series against Baltimore. His previous 5 starts, he's 4-1. Third time a charm. This will be his 3rd time to try and win his 20th game. He has never won 20 before in a regular season. And 217 innings pitched. Only 1 pitcher in the league has thrown more innings than CC Sabathia. And that is King Felix Hernandez of the Seattle Mariners.
Well, he's got a 2-0 lead before he throws a pitch. Brian Roberts will dig in. Roberts 4 for 12, 4 hit for his last 12, hitting .285. His season has been shortened with back issues, but his return has solidified the team's defense and given them a leadoff hitter. The 1-0. There's a strike.
Last night, Roberts, you had mentioned he had a string of 25 straight games reaching safely. That was broken last night by A.J. Burnett in the bullpen. Roberts did not reach base.
1-1. Off-speed pitch, 1-2.
I should mention it was broken by A.J. Burnett. He did not face any of the Yankee relief pitchers. A.J. had a good outing last night. Got the no decision. David Robertson got the win on A-Rod's home run.
Miss. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. The 2-2. Missed inside. And the 3-2. Ground ball up the middle. Grabbed there by Cano. Off balance, no doubt. Oh, what a play by Cano. He made it look easy. It was a lot tougher than he made it look.
You're absolutely right, Michael. This with a speedy runner and Roberts going down the line. Ball almost hit second base bag. How quickly he gets rid of it with something on it and gets the out fairly easily at first base. Almost clipped the bag at second. Off balance throw, accurately on the money. I mean, pitchers got to appreciate that kind of defense behind them. Yeah, you can smile. Might be gold in your future.
Here's Robert Andino. Showalter's playing Andino a lot. He's playing with third. He's playing all around the infield, and his reasoning is he's out of options next year. He said, so I want to be able to make the decision from these 2 months, not just from spring training, whether we keep him or whether we plan to have him in a prominent role. He said that's what these months are for.
Yeah, this is a time of evaluation for several of the players on the Orioles' current roster. Yeah, some of them might be backs, some of them might not, and I think they know it. That's why they are playing much better as a ball club.
The 2-0. Strike. The 2-1. That's past Jeter into center field, a base hit for Andino. Why don't we take a look at the Yankees defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. You've got Gardner in left, Granderson in center, and Colin Curtis in right. Infield, Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Berkman third to first. Posada behind the plate, and Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. That'll bring up Nick Markakis. Kenny mentioned that yesterday Brian Roberts' 25-game streak of getting on base safely was snapped. Markakis' 11-game hitting streak was snapped.
A.J. Burnett did a good job of shutting down the upper part of the Baltimore lineup last night. In fact, the first 3 hitters were just 1 for 11. The first 4 were 1 for 14.
Foul away. The 0-2. Breaking ball is popped up and out of play.
Good off-speed breaking ball by CC Sabathia. One thing about Markakis this year, he has hit left-handed pitching pretty well. He's left-handed hitter is third in the league in hitting against lefties. He's over 350, 351. And those are his totals from the last 4 seasons. Very solid ball player, though this year his RBI totals are down.
Runner goes, pitches outside, throw to second, not in time, a little bit high. Stolen base for Andino.
Well, last night Andino got his first home run of the season. Tonight he gets his first steal of the season. The throw was there in plenty of time. It was just too high. Derek Jeter couldn't go up and come down with the tag quickly enough as Andino slides in safely.
One-two, tap back to Sabathia. He has Andino hung up. And he's tagged out by A-Rod. So that's 1-6-5, and also Markakis stayed at first, which was important.
Well, Andino gets himself caught. He was already in scoring position. You got to make sure at least the ball gets by the pitcher. CC's 6'7", tough to get it by him. Yankees execute this play pretty well. You want Andino to head back to second. CC gets him moving in that direction. The throw goes to Jeter. Then on to A-Rod. Andino can't change directions quickly enough and is tagged out. Good timing and execution by the pitcher, the shortstop, and the third baseman.
There's Ty Wigginton, fouled away.
So the Yankees with a couple of good defensive plays here in the bottom of the first inning. First by Cano, then by Sabathia to get Andino out of scoring position.
Ground ball is short. Jeter goes the short way. They get the force on Markakis, and that'll do it. No runs to hit, no errors, one left. We played one. Yankees lead 2-0 on Yes. Again, text your vote to 58772. He's had some big ones against the Orioles.
Yes, he has. And you know what? There's 51 others to choose from. He's hit 54 against Baltimore.
There's a strike to Gardner. Slaps one into right center. It's a base hit, and it gets past Jones. And here goes Gardner. He's rounding second. He's going to third. And he will get there standing up. A triple for Gardner.
A couple of things on this play. Now, last night I mentioned the fact that when Gardner's hitting here, the outfield plays shallow. If he can get a line drive to the gap, it's going to be a triple. And it was an easy stand-up triple. Adam Jones almost got to this, but even with his speed, couldn't quite get there. And that means it's a three-base hit for Brett Gardner. Before the game, I was talking to Gardner. I asked him if there were any repercussions from playing last night. His first bit of action since having a wrist injury. He said he feels fine. Well, you can see his legs are fine, and it appears that he's swinging the bat well, too.
Orioles bring the infield in with Colin Curtis at the plate. Curtis takes pitch low, 1-0. There's a strike. 6 triple for Brett Gardner. It's a soft toss to third. Andino was not even close to Gardner.
Good thing Andino was paying attention.
You can see with the speedy Gardner at third, Guthrie is electing to go from the stretch, not from the windup. 3-1 to Curtis. Curtis is 0 for his last 10.
He should get a pretty good pitch here. 3-1.
Swings to a high fastball.
I'm not so sure that was a strike, but he's looking fastball, got it, and swung at it.
Strike three, they punch him out. He thought that was ball four. And if you're a rookie, you don't complain.
Let's take a look. This is a fastball. It kind of spills back over. It was borderline, but call strike three. Certainly too close to take. He had just swung at one that might have been up and out of the strike zone.
Infield remains in for Jeter. Jeter was hit by a pitch. First pitch of the game. Ended up scoring later on a Posada single.
And by the way, that run he scored was number 100 on the season for Jeter. It now gives him 13 seasons of 100 run scores. The record is 15. Hank Aaron.
1-0. 2-0.
You get the idea Hank Aaron's got more records than you think.
I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's the list. Nice four-way tie. All with Yankee ties. The 2-0. Driven out into right center. Adam Jones on the run. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Gardner. He'll score easily. It's a sac fly for Jeter, and the Yankees lead 3-0.
So Jeter goes up and over the drawn-in infield to score Gardner. And the Yankees have scored in each of the first 2 innings now against Jeremy Guthrie.
Here's Nick Swisher. He struck out looking in the first inning. Didn't like the call.
You know, Michael, last night prior to the game, I had an interesting talk with Brian Cashman, the Yankee GM, about Nick Swisher and why the Yankees actually traded for him a couple of years ago. Remember, he's coming off a year in which he hit .219. And the Yankees have a director of quantitative analysis, Michael Fishman, and he told Brian Cashman that this is the #1 buy low guy in the offseason, is Nick Swisher. And he said all of his rates were good, just as they had been in his good seasons, except he had too many line drives where he hit bad luck. And he said, go out and get him, and Nick Swisher's done the rest.
He looks at a call, third strike there. Yankees get a run this inning. After 1.5, they're up 3-0. It's time for this moment in Yankees history, brought to you by Johnny Walker. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker is the proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. On September 18, 1956, Mickey Mantle hit his 50th home run of the season to become the second Yankee to hit 50 home runs in a season. Babe Ruth hit 50 in 1928, 1956. Mickey won the Triple Crown.
Yes, he did.
And as I told you, demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Here's Jake Fox against Sabathia with a 3-0 lead, and the breaking ball is high.
I think Mickey hit .353 that year.
A couple of people in the National League are challenging for the Triple Crown. And you realize there has not been a Triple Crown winner since I guess 1967 with Kari Yastrzemski.
And what's interesting about that is that they had Triple Crown winners in back-to-back years. Frank Robinson had done it the previous season for the Baltimore Orioles, and yeah, there it is, retired number, Hall of Famer. In fact, you know, winning the Triple Crown, I guess, is part of gaining entrance into the Hall of Fame, because Yastrzemski's in there too.
And Mickey's in there.
Yeah.
1-2. Spanked into center field, and Granderson is there for the first out. Let me ask you this, Kenny.
Yeah.
What do you think is tougher, to win a Triple Crown or hit 400?
Ooh.
I mean, there's been a Triple Crown winner more recently than 400.
Hitting 400. Because that's, you can have hot spells during the course of the year that would get you to, you know, winning a Triple Crown. And Triple Crown also, a lot of it depends on the hitters on in front of you, getting on base.
Right.
But hitting 400, I mean, it's, you can't have many cold spells whatsoever.
Well, the closest we've come is George Brett with 390. And I believe that Tony Gwynn in the strike shortened season might have been at what?
394.
394.
Yeah.
Maybe Brett was at 388. And those are the two closest, but I don't think we've been very close to Triple Crown lately.
Yeah, Brett hit 390. I think you're right. In 1980. I remember Rod Carew hitting 388 in 1977.
Right.
Yeah.
The 0-1. Ground ball right side. Cano cannot control it, and Jones is on. We'll see how they score it. Probably give him a hit.
Here's another look at it. Ball hit fairly hard off the bat of Jones, and Cano couldn't come up with it. You know, we're used to seeing him make this play, so he kind of stunned when he doesn't. And the ball hits off like the not quite the heel of his glove, but the end of his glove, and they scored. They gave him a base hit.
Base hit.
Base hit.
That's going to bring up Nolan Reimold. The pitch.
And the game that CC lost to the Orioles, that was at Yankee Stadium on September 7th. The big hit I thought in that game was Reimold's two-run homer. The Orioles took an early 3-1 lead, I believe, and Reimold hit a two-run homer.
A blast.
Oh, yeah, he did. He smoked it.
That was the day that CC didn't have it, but he was battling and laboring, but Reimold's blast seemed to put it out of reach. Yankees did make a run, and he has good numbers against Sabathia. Look at that, 7 for 17 with that one home run we're talking about.
Yeah, that's why he's in the lineup. Yeah, the Orioles scored 3 in the first, 3 runs on 4 hits.
That one is past A-Rod into left field for a base hit. So now he's 8 for 18.
And then Reimold hit that two-run homer in the third inning to make it 5-1. And Baltimore salvaged it and won that game 6-2.
So base hit for Reimold, and that's going to bring up Craig Tatum, the backup catcher here. And Posada wants to talk things over with his left-hander, who's trying to win his first 20th game.
All Posada has to do to remind him is just turn around and look at his back. This is what you're trying to do.
Posada wore number, or should I say, Girardi wore number 27 last year, telling them what they want to do. Now he's got 28. Here's Tatum. 4-game hitting streak. He's 12 for his last 37. Now, there was some debate about the Orioles when they left spring training. Why take a young backup catcher to a young starting catcher? They thought that that might have not been the right move. They've had a bad season. I don't think that that's the reason, but certainly something to argue about.
Well, some people thought Chad Muller should have made the team, and he didn't. He was sent to the minor leagues.
The 1-0. 2-0.
And for a while, Tatum went back to the minors. Muller, of course, signed by the Yankees. Ended up coming up when Posada was injured. And now, of course, with the expanded rosters, the Yankees have 3 catchers on the roster. So that gives Joe Girardi an extra move during the course of the game. There's that changeup, which has become a big weapon in the arsenal of CC Sabathia.
Sabathia pitched so well on Monday when he hooked up with David Price. Both of them max zeros. The game was decided in extra innings. But Sabathia said that Price is ahead of where he was at that point in his career. The 2-1. Fastball low. CC doesn't have the great fastball so far tonight. He's at 91.
91, and his control is off a smidge. I mean, the other night in Tampa Bay, he had everything. Breaking ball, fastball, changeup, location. He wasn't going to get up the first run of that game. And I think that's what all great pitchers do. They go out there and say, I'm not giving up the first run of the game. They have a tendency to remind themselves, my team's going to score first. And I'll do whatever it takes.
And now he has walked the bases loaded. That's going to bring up his tourists. Jones on third, Reimold at second, and Tatum is at first with one out. Yankees at double play depth. They're up 3-0. And CC just does not have great command tonight.
Yeah, he is struggling with it at this point. Now, it's not to say that it can't kick in at some time during the game, but when you're facing the great pitchers, if they're struggling, that's when you got to take advantage. You can't let them get off the hook. And CC, of course, is looking for the double play here.
Now 2-0, and Sabathia stares into Tony Randazzo to say, where is that?
Yeah, and Posada thought it was a strike as well. We get the benefit of a second look.
That's pretty good.
Oh, man, that looked very good.
And Sabathia doing something smart for a veteran. He walked to the backside of the mound and just took a deep breath rather than get up on the rubber angry. There's a strike. The 2-1. 2-2.
All right, he's just thrown 2 fastballs for strikes and leveled off the count. Be interesting to see if he goes to the breaking ball, and if he misses, not afraid to go to 3-2, because now he has at least control of his fastball in this with this hitter.
2-2. Driven out to left field. Gardner is there. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Jones. He'll score. The throw goes to third. It's a sac fly for Isturis. The Orioles are on the board. Yankees lead 3-1.
He did go with the breaking ball, but it wasn't a particularly good one. It was up in the zone, and Isturis was able to drive it to the outfield. And this one kind of stays up in the middle of the plate. Isturis saw it well, hit it well, and got it far enough into the outfield to score a run. If you see the breaking balls from his last game, they were all biting down and in, and the hitters couldn't get to him. That one kind of just rolled up there.
Here's Brian Roberts. He grounded to second. That was in the first. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. And there's a strike. Swing and a miss helped him out. CC found a couple more miles per hour on that fastball. 0-2. 94-mile-an-hour heater. Bottom of the second, 3-1 Yanks. And the 0-2. Still 0-2.
And it's changeup, fastball, then a curveball. Or I should say a slider from CC. That was his best one of the inning, too.
Now this is the second time through the order for Sabathia, and he does something that you don't see very often. As he goes through the order, their batting average against gets lower. 252 first pass, 233 second pass, 224 after that. The 0-2. Breaking ball is fouled back.
So maybe the adage is true about the good pitchers. If you don't get them early, you're not going to get them. Because all of a sudden they start to smell the finish line with the lead, and they want that victory.
The 0-2. Boy, Kenny, you look around this ballpark, I'd say this is a sellout. I don't see that many empty seats available.
Yeah, that's
standing room over the scoreboard in right field, over the bullpens in left.
Plus, when you look out on Utah Street, there's quite a few people transversing that street up and down beyond the right field fence there.
Jammed in on a Saturday night. The 1-2. Strike three. Roberts down looking. So Sabathia pitches into and out of big trouble. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 left. We go to the third. 3-1 Yanks. Lance Berkman digs in to start off the third, and the first pitch is a strike. Berkman struck out in the first inning. Grounded toward first. It's a fair ball. Wigginton will flip to Guthrie, who just beats Berkman for the first out. Hey, let's look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. Kenny always does. One more game tomorrow here in Baltimore. That's a 1:30 first pitch, 1:35. Then the Yankees are home for their final regular season homestand of the year. 4 big games against the Rays. It'll be a battle for first place. And then the Boston Red Sox, a lot of young players that are doing a nice job for the Red Sox. You might not know they will be in with them. And it's Friday night, 4:10 Saturday, and then 8 o'clock on Sunday. Here's Alex. Pitches inside.
I'd like to revisit that Michael Fishman, the director of quantitative analysis. That's quite a handle. But I was talking about Nick Swish in particular, but when he was talking to Brian Cash, and Brian was telling me yesterday that it actually works for teams as well. Remember a couple of years ago when the Rays went to the World Series?
Right.
It seemed like every other night they were having a walk-off win at Tropicana Field. They were really doing well. And how about last year? How many walk-offs did the Yankees have? Was it 15? 15 in the regular season. But according to Michael Fisher, you're going to have market corrections. The Yankees haven't had as many walk-offs this year. I believe it's only 4. But the thing is that you can still win. I mean, you still got to get enough ball club, you're going to win, just maybe not as dramatically.
That one's looped into center field, coming on Jones. He can't make the play, but he keeps it in front of him. It's a base hit for A-Rod. So he's walked and singled.
So it works for players, and it can work for teams as well. A-Rod didn't get the good wood. This one might have got in on the label, but he got in on the label enough. Adam Jones playing fairly deep. Could not catch it on the fly, and A-Rod's got his first hit of the night.
Well, I listened to that stat, and
Yeah.
I feel somewhat dubious about it. If it's direct quantitative analysis, it just seems that there's a lot of luck involved. Market correction.
Well,
why would they have a lot of walk-off last year and not this year?
Law of averages. Catch
So
up
there's
to
luck then.
There's luck involved. I mean, speaking of Swisher, he had bad luck when they made the trade for him. That's one reason why you could buy low with him. They felt that he hit so many line drives at people that year. Every other stat that he had was just about normal. Home runs per at bats and all that sort of thing.
The 1-0. Fly ball center field. Jones is there for the second out.
See, the Yankees have still had a lot of comeback wins this year, more than any other team. But more or less, they've happened earlier in the game than in their last at bat.
And also, you can't have walk-off wins on the road.
That's very true.
Last night would have been a walk-off win.
You know what? What would you call a road? Keep it going?
I don't know. Skull ball? Make them play the bottom of the ninth inning.
Exactly. Turn the place into the home of the bottom of the ninth.
Here's Posada. I wonder when you put together all that analysis, though, if it came up that Nick Swisher and the manager of the White Sox hated each other.
Well, part of that was because he's hitting too many line drives at people. But the Yankees aren't the only team that does it. The Rays do it. The Red Sox do it. And I'm sure there's other teams as well. They have just somebody just go over the data. And I agree with the buy low theory on play. You want to get them after a down year.
Well, if you have a player that you think has a very lucky year and has high numbers, that's when you get rid of it.
Exactly.
Sell high. It's just like stocks.
Yeah, and Brian was telling me about not only that, going over the data, but sometimes you play hunches too. So you have both sides of the coin that you're working with when you're trying to make deals.
One-two. Loop the other way. Nice play by Andino to end the inning. Quick jump, and he hauled it in. No runs to hit, and one man left. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Yanks. It'll be Andino, Markakis, and Wigginton. Andino always a threat to bunt. He singled to center field in the first inning. And stole a base, and that was the first stolen base that CC had allowed in his last 9 starts. Count 1-1.
And Dino showed some quickness on that last foul ball. That ball wasn't very high in the air, and he was running over near the wall. But I'm not so sure that yeah, it's padded over there, but there's a brick wall right behind it. Here's a look at the padding on the wall. I mean, if you hit that pretty good speed, I mean, there's not much give there.
Yeah, if you put a pillow on a brick wall and you run to the pillow, you don't get hurt.
Yeah. Or you put ivy on a wall in Chicago at Wrigley Field. On a brick wall.
(3-1). Skied out to deep right center, giving chase. Curtis on the run. It's going to be over his head and up against the wall. And Andino is at second with a double.
This guy is indeed trying to get a good evaluation. CC fell behind on the count. Andino with a home run last night, single and a double here tonight, a stolen base. Fastball out over the plate. He drives it to deep right center out near the 373 side. He's got a quick bat. Trying to make a name for himself here and showing off for manager Buck Showalter.
The way he's playing, Kenny, you can understand why he has that big smile on his face on the scoreboard picture that he has, which is one of the great scoreboard pictures of all time. And we also had, there it is. Look how happy he is. Have you ever seen a guy more happy?
You know, I thought that was after he hit the home run last night.
I thought it was Christmas Day. Ground ball up the middle. Andino will advance to third. Jeter will get Markakis at first.
I didn't know anybody could be that happy.
Here's Ty Wigginton. Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up this run. Runner on third with one out. Ground ball would make it 3-2. Tell you what, Kenny, walking around the Inner Harbor today, just overrun with New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Everybody wearing Yankee paraphernalia. I didn't think there was anyone from Baltimore in the downtown area. It was amazing. The hotels must love it. Swing and a miss.
Just came over and took over downtown, huh?
I guess they did.
You know, back in 1812, the British tried to do it, and they couldn't do it. But the New Yorkers could. And that's how we got the song. We got to stand up before each game.
I remember when they used to sell out this ballpark all the time. The Orioles management didn't like the fact that so many Yankee fans got their hands on tickets. But now that they don't come close to even half of that, I don't think they mind New Yorkers streaming in. Because New York green is the same as Baltimore green.
Yeah, and what happens is you have a lot of these Oriole fans who sell their tickets to Yankee fans. They make a few bucks. That's the American way. And Boston, they come in and they kind of take over Camden Yards. I think it was a couple of years ago, Michael, we figured it out that the Yankee and Red Sox combined attendance, home attendance for Baltimore was 40% of their home attendance.
That one is drilled to left field. That's going to get a run in. Gardner makes the catch. Tagging is Andino, and he will score. So now it's 3-2 Yanks.
Second run on a sacrifice fly off the bat of a Baltimore hitter is Torres last inning, and now Wigginton this inning. And now it's just a one-run lead for CC Sabathia and the Yankees. I think it was a couple of years ago we ran those numbers.
Here's Jake Fox.
So were any of those fans carrying around those Michael K. placards that we saw?
Not that I was averting my eyes, so I don't know if that was the case.
Oh, you're trying to go incognito.
I was trying.
It's not that easy, Mike. I mean, you're in these people's living rooms every night.
And of everybody in the Inner Harbor, this was the only freakishly large head, so people did notice. The 0-1 foul back, 0-2.
But it was a beautiful day. I mean,
what does that say? Wow.
That's the hotel across the street.
I think their feelings outweigh their grammar.
Where the Yankees stay? Not there.
Not there. I'm not allowed to say that.
No, I'm not saying.
The 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2.
I mean, that's a relatively new hotel. It's only been there a couple years.
Are you hinting that I've been there, Kenny? I've never been there.
No.
I don't know how that sheet got up there. The 1-2 fouled away.
Jake Fox had been with the Oakland A's earlier this year. Backup catcher, also played first base. Tonight serving as the designated hitter.
The 1-2.
Had been a Chicago Cub at one time.
Here's the 2-2. Missed inside, 3-2.
Yeah, CC's pitch count is getting up there a little higher than he might want. He's going to need some quick innings.
(3-2). Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Paul Nauert punches out Jake Fox, and that will do it here in the third. But the Orioles creep closer. One run, one hit, and nobody left. There's the inner harbor, but all the New Yorkers are in the ballpark now, so it's kind of empty. 3-2 Yankees lead. Guthrie, so Guthrie gave up 3 runs early, but his team has climbed back into it. It's 3-2 now in the 4th. Granderson ended the first inning with a ground ball to second. Yankees had runners on first and third, and 2 runs already in at that point. Change up, 1-2.
Through another change, back-to-back change-up. Missed with the second one. Guthrie pitch count is up there as well. You can see home plate umpire Tony Randazzo giving Craig Tatum a little bit of a breather here. Oh, direct hit. Was it Posada who was tested for concussion syndrome after taking a foul ball?
And a mild concussion. The 2-2. 3-2. Granderson walks. It was Mike Matheny who was driven out of baseball by repeated concussions because of foul tips. Well, it's time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Who was the last 20-game winner for the Orioles?
I think I know that.
Well, we know it wasn't Mike Messina because he didn't win 20 games till his final year with the Yankees.
Yep. I think he twice won 19 with Baltimore.
Here's Gardner. Pitches high. Again high with the fastball. Now Tatum wants to go out and talk.
Yeah, this is an inning where all of a sudden Guthrie's having a little problem with his control.
Top of the 5th inning, the Angels and the Rays, no score. And Toronto and Boston 1-1 top of the 6th. Toronto had a big lead over Boston last night. Boston made a late run at it, but Toronto held them off.
Did Bautista hit his 48th last night? 48 home
New
runs.
Blue Jay record.
Yep.
With the Yankee win and the Rays lost last night, Yankees moved back into first place. Essentially tied in the loss column, and the Red Sox 7 back.
Speed at first, speed at the plate. Ahead on the count. Does it add up to something happening? Nope.
He's high again, 3-1.
Now you might see Granderson on the move.
Gardner has such a good eye. Although you take the opportunity away from him working the count 3-2, because he'll take pitches close. You do. And he swung at the pitch. Ball goes one way, the bat goes into the Oriole dugout. And it comes flying back out.
Loses the grip. Who's that hit jumping out of the way there? One of the Orioles assistants there. Well, if he goes 3-1, he's going to go 3-2.
That would seem to be the case. Runner goes. Slashed in the left field. It is a base hit. Moving to third. Granderson. The ball is bobbled by Reimold. And that allows Gardner to go into second. We'll see if they score an error on Reimold or just give Gardner a straight double.
Well, he had no chance of getting Granderson at third, and for the second time tonight, Reimold has bobbled the ball in the outfield. Now let's see. You know, he was playing Gardner to hit the ball that way. There's the bobble. Doesn't take much for Gardner to pick up an extra 90 feet. And so far, no error. So it looks like that's going to be scored a double. Maybe they take into consideration the speed of Gardner.
Tatum goes out and talks with Guthrie. You want to hold it right here at 3-2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. There's a strike.
Curtis is to the plate. He looks around the infield. The infield is back. A ground ball to second or to the right side would work doubly in his favor. This one's going to be out of play. Get run in and move Gardner over to third base with one swing of the bat. But now you're in a hole 0-2. You're just trying to put the ball in play.
Guthrie would love a strikeout here with the infield bat. The pitch popped up behind the plate and out of play. Just missed inside of the breaking ball. 1-2.
Trying to expand the zone and trying to get Curtis to get himself out. You know, when you got 2 strikes, that's when your discipline really has to pick it up. You almost have to go with a flat-footed stance and rely on your hands to get the job done. Another good disciplined take.
Curtis struck out in the second, and over the last 5 games, including that strikeout, Yankee right fielders Golson, Curtis, and Kearns have combined to go 1 for 17. And the lone hit was a single last night by Kearns. Well, we should mention that Gardner has picked up the toughest part of the cycle, a triple, and he has a double. He's got power to hit the ball out, so he needs a home run and a single to complete the cycle. But he has a double and the triple. Two-two. So he's worked the count from 0-2 to 4.
So far, a very solid at bat for Colin Curtis.
3 straight full counts this inning. Right back to Guthrie. Checks back Granderson, and they get the out at first.
Well, fans, tonight after the post-game catch This Week in Football presented by Geico as our crew previews big week number 2 matchups when the Jets welcome New England and the Giants face the Colts. And tomorrow morning at 9, the pregame analysis continues on Football Sunday with Mike Francesa. It's all right here on Yes.
They keep the infield back now as Guthrie will face Derek Jeter. Jeter was hit by a pitch in the first inning, scored, then had a sac fly in the second to pick up his 62nd ribby. Pitch outside.
God. Target's in, but the pitch is up and in just underneath the hands of the captain. Spins out of the way. See what the Guthrie features here next. He's up to 79 pitches now.
There's a strike. Threw a breaking ball on 2-0. Or was that a change, Ken? Let's see.
There's a little wrinkle to it. Yep, there's a wrinkle to it. It's a breaking ball. And see the reaction of Jeter is, oh man.
You don't expect that on 2-0. Now 2-2.
These are the opportunities that the Yankees have kind of stalled in the beginning of the trip. I think they weren't very good with runners in scoring position last night.
Well, for the trip, they're hitting under 200, Ken. The 2-2. Soft ground ball is short. That's going to get a run in, but Jeter's going to be out. And the Yankees now lead 4-2. Another ribby for Derek Jeter.
I talked about the fact all you needed to do was hit a ground ball to short or second. You're going to get one run in. And Jeter scores Granderson. On a broken back ground to the short, Granderson got a good lead at third, and there was no play on him as the Yankees now have a 2-run lead.
Here's Nick Swisher. Grounded to first, gobbled up by Wigginton. He flips to Guthrie, and that will do it. Yankees get a run on one hit. They lead one. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Yankees are up 4-2. It's time now for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quitline Quiz. Who was the last 20-game winner for the Orioles? You think you know this, Ken?
1984, I'd say it was Mike Boddicker.
It was. Good call.
That was
long time ago.
That ended a string of 13 consecutive years with at least one 20-game winner.
And now it's been 26
yeah.
without. Sabathia with the 4-2 lead, and he'll deal to Adam Jones. Pitches high. Toronto leads Boston now 2-1, top of the fourth inning. And Tampa Bay leads the Angels 2-0, bottom of the fifth. The 1-0.
And the thing about that 13 years in a row with at least one 20-game winner. Now Jim Palmer won 8 years in a row. He won at least 20 games. Now they had years where there were multiple 20-game winners. In fact, one year they had 4 pitchers win 20 games. And Palmer was part of that. It was Mike Cuellar, Dave McNally, Pat Dobson, and Jim Palmer all won 20 games in one. That's never going to happen again.
No way. Line drive over the head of Cano, or a base hit to right field for Jones. So Jones is 2 for 2. Hey, fans with tickets for the game scheduled to be played Monday, September 20th at 7:05 p.m. between the Yankees and the Rays are encouraged to arrive at Yankee Stadium early for a special pre-game ceremony, which will include the unveiling of a monument in honor of Mr. George M. Steinbrenner III in Monument Park. Yankee Stadium's gates will open at 5 p.m. on Monday. Ms. Nolan Reimold, runner at first, nobody out. I'm sure that's going to be a very moving ceremony.
Yeah.
Foul back by Reimold.
Hey, you think of what Mr. Steinbrenner meant to The Yankees are building this organization, which had a lot of history before he even got there, but he built them back into a winner. Eventually got a new stadium built in the Bronx that the Yankee fans can enjoy.
On the team for 37 years, added 6 more World Series titles to the total of 27.
Started a new television network.
Yes.
And a lot of teams are following that model. The Orioles now have their own network. Red Sox.
Now, did he get hit while it was in fair territory? Yes, he did, so he's out. Now, Buck Showalter was quickly going to argue with Tony Randazzo.
Not only is he out, but Adam Jones going to have to go back to first base.
And you give the put out there to Posada.
And we get another look here. Reimold on a breaking ball. The ball was it on home plate when it hit him?
On home plate.
Yeah, its home plate is in fair territory. It is right there. Takes one hop, another hop on the plate. He kicks it. He's out. Home plate is in fair territory.
Yeah, yep, right clearly.
Right there, you can see it even more clearly. And he is out. So Jones, who had been on the move, has to return to first base.
Tatum with a ground ball to Jeter. There's one. On the first, it's a double play. Inning-ending double play. No runs a hit, no errors because of the DP. Nobody left. Let's go to the 5th. Yankees up 4-2. Thank you, Nancy. Back here in Baltimore, it's 4-2. We'll hear from Nancy a little bit later on and on the postgame with Kimberly Jones. Lance Berkman will dig in against Jeremy Guthrie. 4-5-0 Yanks, 2-5-0 for the O's. Strike to Lance Berkman. I really like that last shot we had of the Oriole fan sitting next to the Yankee fan. It warmed my heart because that's what this country's all about, Kenny. People with different opinions able to coexist. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, election day is coming.
The 1-1 fouled away.
I mean, you come to the ballpark, you don't know who you're going to sit next to.
No idea.
No idea.
And if it's somebody that roots for a different team, you don't get angry. You try to understand them. The 1-2 is lofted into left field. Coming on Reimold, and he makes the sliding catch for the first out. Let's go all the way back to the bottom of the 4th inning to take a look at the GE Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust, Kenny. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Yes, we do. Craig Tatum hit that ground ball to Derek Jeter. Nice flip to Cano. There's your partner play right there. And on to Berkman to complete the double play. That's our GE partner play of the evening.
Now, Alex had the big home run in the 9th inning yesterday, but he had a home run before that. That's his 57th multi-home run game, and that's the 7th most all-time in baseball history, and the most of any active player. And how about this? In his last 2 years, Kenny, 27 of his 55 home runs have either tied or put the Yankees ahead.
That's the key. Getting him at the right time.
And he also now has 15 game-winning RBIs, and that ties him with Paul Konerko for the most in the American League. So the guy who was supposed to be the most non-clutch person in his early years with the Yankees has proven to be quite a clutch player, especially in the postseason last year.
It's starting to turn to go the other way.
Yep.
See, I was telling you about the market corrections.
The market has been corrected on the A-Rod stock. The 2-2. A base hit. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. And also, the home run in the 9th inning yesterday, Kenny, was his 25th of the year. Why is that significant? He's had 25 or more home runs in 13 straight seasons. That ties him with Willie Mays. And there's only 2 players that have had more. Barry Bonds and Babe Ruth had 25 or more home runs 15 years in a row. Here's Robinson Cano.
You know what, I'm wondering, when Babe Ruth was setting all these home run records, were they saying, oh, that'll be done again? No, nobody will ever do that. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because nobody had ever done that.
Yeah. The only person to be able to do it will be the Babe himself.
High drive, right field. Going back, Markakis. Looking up, see ya. 2-run home run. Robinson Cano. And the Yankees lead 6-2. He now has 101 RBIs, over the 100 mark, and that is career high for him. 28 home runs, another career high for him.
Now, when Cano got to the major leagues, it was obvious he was already a pretty good hitter. But he has improved. He's in the middle stages of his career. And this is our Coors Light cold, hard blast. Home run number 28. And now, for the first time in his career, over 100 runs batted in for Robinson Cano. Congratulations.
Posada fouls off the first pitch. He's down in the count 0-1.
And another multi-hit game.
2 for 3. The 0-1. Breaking ball strike, 0-2. Posada drove in 2 runs in the first inning, 2-run single, then a nice catch on a foul ball flare toward third base by Robert Andino. So Sabathia now has a 4-run cushion as he is searching for win number 20.
So I'm thinking, Michael, that move to see if Cano could handle the 5th spot in the batting order this year. One of the things they talked about in spring training. I think that's paid off pretty well. I think he can handle it. That was one of the things that was bantered about during the course of spring training. Could Robinson Cano take over the vacated 5th spot in the order that was held by Hideki Matsui and protect Alex Rodriguez in the lineup? Not only did he do that, he kind of became Alex Rodriguez when Alex was hurt.
Yep.
Because Cano had to move into the 4th spot. And he did a good job there, too.
Now, speaking of Matsui, the other day, he's playing on bad knees. He picked up his first triple of the year. And the Angels were jumping up and down in the dugout. They were going crazy except for one guy. Torrey Hunter sat there glued to the bench with a frown on his face. And then he was asked about it later. He and Matsui had a $5,000 bet who would hit the first triple. And he said, you got to be kidding me. How could this guy hit a triple? So he ended up losing money to Matsui. That one is driven out to left field. Going back, Reimold, he's there. He has plenty of room for the second out.
I'll tell you, Matsui does pretty well with these bets. Remember the bet he had with Abreu and Jeter about who would get married first? And they had no idea he was already engaged.
That's right.
Don't bet Hideki Matsui.
But to the very end, Jeter always doubted. He said, all we've ever seen is you draw a stick figure of her. We don't even know she exists. Count is 0-1 to Granderson.
figure.
But we did actually finally see her in the postseason
during the World Series.
Stunningly beautiful woman.
Yes.
The stick figure did not do her justice. The 2-1. There's a strike. 2-2.
No resemblance whatsoever.
Mark Hendrickson warming for the O's.
Back a deck, these parents came over from Japan for the postseason.
And they got an eyeful. He won the MVP.
Yeah.
Strike 3. Granderson down looking. But the Yankees had 2 big runs on 2 hits. No errors and nobody left. One swing by Cano, a 2-run home run. 101 ribbies. We're halfway through. Yankees are leading 6-2.
Car. It's
Cesar Asturias leads off the bottom of the 5th. He shows bunt, takes pitch outside, 1-0. The 1-0.
Sabathia trying to beat the Orioles for the 5th time in 6 tries this year. He beat them in April. He beat them in May. Beat them twice in June in a period of 6 days. And then he lost to him on September the 7th.
One, 2. Driven out into right center. Colin Curtis puts it away for the first out. Let's get a quick update, and we go to the studios and Nancy Newman.
Well, Michael and Kenny, the Angels came back to beat the Rays last night. Can they do it again? Bottom 5 with a man aboard, Reed Brignac. Homers to right off Joel Pinheiro. It's a 2-out, 2-run homer on his 8th of the season. They are through 6 in Tampa. It is 2-zip Rays. We're keeping watch.
Thank you, Nancy. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning here in Baltimore. Yankees are leading 6-2, and here's Brian Roberts.
So David Price, pitching for the Rays tonight, is now not giving up a run in at least 14 innings.
And there's going to be a rematch of that great Monday outing Thursday at the stadium. Sabathia against Price. Strike. And the pitch. Grounded up the middle. Jeter is there for the 2nd out.
You know, Michael, in all the years I've been doing ball games, I think that's one of the best dual pitching performances I've ever seen. Where both pitchers just hooked up and just said, I'm not giving up a run. And they just both threw 0 after 0 on the board.
Did you do the Yankee Red Sox game? I think it was Clemens against Pedro, where Chili Davis ended it in extra innings, I believe, with a home run.
Called the year?
Oh, I don't know the year.
Yeah, I might have done that one.
That was a great pitch.
Yeah,
I think Pedro had 16 strikeouts.
Yeah, I might have done that one.
The pitch is low to Andino.
You know, sometimes when you get these matchups of the top pitchers, one of them's off.
Right.
And it just gets clobbered. But not last Monday.
The 1-0. 2-0. And we'll see again on Friday if they're both on. And will CC carry his first 20-win season into that game? The 2-0. If I said Friday, they're going to see each other on Thursday. I thought I said Thursday, but it's Thursday, the final game of the Yankees-Rays series.
Yeah, that's what you said Thursday.
I thought I did. And the 3-0. There's a strike.
Andino's been a thorn in his side. His single, a double tonight. He's got a single, a double, and a home run in his last 3 at-bats over the last 2 games.
That was driven deep to left field. Going back, Gardner looking up. See ya. Another home run for Andino. A solo shot, and the Yankee lead is 6-3. What a night for Andino. 3 for 3.
Yeah, why is this man smiling? His last 4 at-bats, a home run last night, single and a double and a home run tonight. He's ahead on the count. He can look for something. And last night he had a home run on a pitch on the inner third of the plate. Same thing tonight. Here's a guy's being evaluated. His value's going up.
Our esteemed leader, Mr. Filippelli, said that the Pedro Clemens matchup was in 99.
99.
And Davis's home run won it. I believe that was also the only hit.
Off Pedro?
Yep. Line drive right at A-Rod. And that'll do it here in the 5th. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 5. CC's not happy, but he's up 6-3. Tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Andy Pettit is back on the mound. 11-2, 2.88. That was his record before he got hurt. He's been out a long time. And Chris Tillman will go for the O's 1-4 with a 6.32. How's Andy going to pitch? Tune in at 12:30 as coverage begins on Yes and find out. New pitcher for the Orioles as Buck Showalter makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Jeremy Guthrie, who had pitched so well in the second half, did not pitch well tonight. So he turns it over to the left-hander, Mark Hendrickson.
6'9" Hendrickson, known as Smooth or Big Smooth. 46 games. And he has pitched well since Buck Showalter has come upon the scene here in Baltimore.
So here's Hendrickson against Gardner. Strike. Gardner's halfway to a cycle, a triple and a double. You know, there's so many theories, Kenny, floating around. Why have the Orioles played so much better under Showalter? And, you know, I think he's put the fear of God into everybody because they might not have jobs next year. His attention to detail is legendary from when he started with the Yankees in '92. And his ability to rebuild ball clubs also legendary. But Alex Rodriguez told me a story today, Kenny, and it's a little things with Buck. The Yankees, before they hit on the field, if they get here early, they have to walk across the field from the third base dugout and go into the Oriole dugout and go to the indoor cages, which are located there. There's strike 3 as Gardner's down looking. And Alex said the alleyway, which is right there.
Yeah.
Right there. He said it's about the width of a car. He said, and you would go down there in past years. He said, and it was filthy, and there were bats all over the place, and they weren't in their proper order or anything like that. He said, I walked in yesterday. He said, I thought I was in a new ballpark. He said, every single player had a bat rack for his bats, as Colin Curtis grounds one to Wigginton and flips to Hendrickson. He said, and the place was painted. He said, and you could have eaten off the floor. And he goes, now I knew I played for Buck in Texas. And I said, that's Buck right there. There's accountability, and everything's going to look the right way for people to feel that they have a right opportunity to win. So small things like that turns around programs.
You know, I agree that it is a lot cleaner back there, but wait for that first big rainstorm. Because the water goes right into that tunnel out of the dugout. And it leaves a lot of residue.
Here's Derek Jeter. And there's a strike. And I told the story before when he first walked into his office. There was a huge picture that had been up there for 18 years.
This is a great story.
And it was a picture of a sold-out Camden Yards, and the Orioles were on the field, and he was in there one day, and he told the clubhouse kid, I want this down tomorrow. But why, Buck? It's been up for 18 years. He said, I just want it down. Take a look at it. And the kid's looking at it. He says, what? He goes, the bases are loaded against the Orioles. He said, why would I want a picture where the Orioles are in trouble? Why would I want that? I wouldn't want anybody on base. I want the picture down. Picture came down the next day. The 1-1. Grounded toward third. It's a foul ball. The Angels have taken a 3-2 lead over Tampa Bay now. Top of the 7th inning. So they have come back against Price.
That scoreless string has been broken.
Well, they've announced the attendance here tonight. 48,775. That's only the second sellout of the year. Baltimore chop toward short. His choice does not get Jeter. Jeter beat it out. And now Buck will come out of the dugout to argue with Paul Maurer. You see now, he said, you really think he was out? Now Buck is fired up. I think Buck wants to get thrown out.
He's getting a little heated here. This kind of reminds me of the old days.
We'll have to see a replay if Buck has got a legitimate argument.
I think he was reacting to Wigginton's reaction at first base. Wigginton thought they had him. And here's the high chopper. Well, it's a Baltimore chop. And Jeter trying to beat it out. The ball stays up for his tourist. That's key.
Wow.
Oh, it is definitely bang, bang. We get another look here. Jeter hustling down the line.
Wow.
What do you think?
I can't give a definitive yes or no. So it's hard to argue. Let's see this angle. I think it's a tie.
Yeah.
And in the playground of the Bronx, tie goes to the runner.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Mount Vernon. I don't know about Yonkers and New Rochelle, but
rip past the diving Andino and down the left field line. Jeter is rounding third. They're sending him home. The throw is cut off. Jeter's in there. It's an RBI double for Swisher, and the Yankees lead 7-3. Again, Reimold bobbled the ball. Third time tonight.
And I believe this time Robbie Thompson saw it and he said, keep on going. Ripped down the third base line by Swisher past Andino. And watch Reimold coming to your picture. There's one carom.
Right there.
Right there. He can't pick it up. In fact, it was a double dribble. And Jeter scores all the way from first base for the Yankees' 7th run.
So here's Lance Berkman. He spins around to the right side against the lefty Hendrickson. And there's a strike.
That was Swisher's 32nd double of the year.
Grounded to short. Nice play by his choice. And he guns down Berkman for the final out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Swisher with a big RBI double. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees up by 4. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees lead the Orioles 7-3. Here's Ty Wigginton. Yankees with 9 hits. The Orioles with 6. Wigginton's 0 for 1 with a sac fly. You know, one thing that we should point out, the play at first, and we joked around about the Bronx and Mount Vernon, tie goes to the runner. There is nothing in the baseball rule book that states that a tie goes to the runner. That really is just a playground thing, because the people that wrote the rule book said that there's no way that it's ever a tie. that somebody had to get there first, the ball or the runner. So the ball's entering the glove there, and the foot is on. So you would think that Jeter's safe because the ball's not yet in the glove. But they don't believe that there's any such thing as a tie, so that rule in the book doesn't actually exist.
And all the bang-bang plays over the years, there had to have been a tie at one time or another.
You would think,
Yeah.
right? The 1-2. Foul back.
So according to what we just saw, Randazzo was right. I should say Nart was right.
Yeah.
The umpires, we should explain, umpires go by sound. They can't actually see the ball go in the glove and the foot hit the bag at the same time.
Yeah, they're taught to look at the bag and listen for the gloves. That one's popped up. And Cano makes the call, and now we make the call to Nancy Newman to find out the latest of what's happening. Nancy?
Thank you, Michael. As we know and talked about, the Angels provided late inning drama against the Rays last night at the Trop. They're back at it. 2-on for Juan Rivera in the 7th. He takes the first pitch from David Price and sends it up and out for the go-ahead 3-run home run. His 13th of the year. Angels take the lead 3-2.
Now, Nancy, now that's a long way from over, but if both of these scores hold up, Yankees could have a game-and-a-half lead in the American League East with time dwindling down. Fox swings and misses at the changeup. You know, you look at CC Sabathia, big guy, throws hard, and you think of him as a power pitcher. But his best pitch now might be his changeup. I mean, he uses it all the time, and he completely baffles the opponents with it.
Changeup set up the next pitch there and threw a fastball in on the hands. Well spotted, in on the hands of Fox. Fox not quick enough after the previous pitch, and now it's 0-2. Teach those youngsters the changeup.
The 0-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, said Nauert. Doesn't want to deal with Showalter again.
Buck got a little heated there, didn't he? You could see the bunch of water boil when you're waiting for tea. I mean, you could see it coming. Bubbles starting to come up.
He's got a temper.
Yeah.
One, 2. 2-2.
Remains to be seen if he's got an Earl Weaver temper.
That's pretty legendary.
That's how he's going to be measured here.
Now Weaver won 2 World Series, right?
1. 1970.
And 83. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was gone.
Yeah. He won 1 World Series.
Yeah.
And then he lost in 79. Was that him?
Yeah. Yeah, that was me too.
3-2. Fox 0 for 2 tonight. Fly ball to center and a strikeout. Bottom of the 6th, Yankees up 7-3. Sabathia looking for win number 20. Strike 3. Fox down looking.
CC not striking out many hitters tonight. That's just his 3rd in the ball game. That's one thing about him too. I mean, he has his games where he has the big strikeout totals, but because of that changeup, he gets a lot of balls hit off the, not on the fat of the bat. He gets a lot of double plays on that changeup, and he doesn't need to strike out a lot of hitters that particular night, and still win the game.
Here's Adam Jones, who's gotten them twice with 2 singles.
If CC wins tonight, he will be the first pitcher in the major leagues to get to 20 victories. And you've got several pitchers knocking on the door. Roy Halladay's 19-10. Ubaldo Jimenez is 19-6. But Halladay isn't scheduled to make his next start till Tuesday. And Jimenez got his 19th win last night. So CC could be the first one to 20.
1-1. Grounded to Jeter. He's right there. And that'll do it. So 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia. Let's take this baby to the 7th. Yankees are leading this one 7-3. It is time for another look at tonight's Toyota text ball. Once again, the question: what is Alex Rodriguez's most memorable home run against the Orioles? You've been texting us at 58772, and of course, the most recent one is how you voted. 58% say it was last night's 3-run home run.
Well, the grand slam off Chris Ray was in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, that was a walk-off.
Yes, it was.
That was one of his first big hits with the innings. And here is Alex.
New pitcher is David Hernandez.
And he deals a strike.
Hernandez began the year in the rotation, but he went 1-5 as a starter. Was moved to the bullpen. It's done much better. 6-3 out of the pen.
That was a Chris Ray home run.
Yeah. Into the black seats.
Now, for those of you at home that might not remember this, the 0-2, Ken Singleton, my partner, was the first person to ever visit the black seats when the new Yankee Stadium opened in 1976. And I don't mean as a fan. It was 77, so the first year it didn't happen. See the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, 7-3 Yankees lead. Hot shot to short is Torres. One away.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Now it's 77, like the park had been only open a year.
Yeah.
Did you guys realize that that was a special place to visit?
You know, I think as a youngster I saw Mickey Mantle hit one out there. But
Right. Yeah, but it was, you know, a different park and everything.
Yeah, it's,
I guess now it's the restaurant that's a big thing.
you know what? I hit the home run, and the next day Reggie came up to me and says, you know, nobody's done that yet.
And then he went and did it in the
Yeah,
World
he did
Series.
the World Series.
That year, here's Robinson Cano. Foul back.
You know, we're talking about hammering. How about Cano against Baltimore this year? I mean, he's got a 2-hit night going at .448 with 5 home runs and 11 runs batted in. This year. And last year he hit even better. He hit .478 against him last year.
Yeah, so he's slumping. The 0-1. Fouled away. Now, one thing that we should mention, Kenny, we talked about Tampa Bay is losing right now. Well, so is Boston, and that might be more important than Tampa Bay. You know, talked to Joe Girardi at length last night. He wants to finish first because home field's important.
Yes, it is.
But he's not going to play people that are hurt and grind them into the ground just to finish first. But you want to get into the playoffs. So if this score holds up and the Red Sox lose, then it's an 8-game difference between the Yankees and the Red Sox, and they only have 6 games remaining. So that's significant. 6 games remaining with each other.
The trailing team always wants to be able to control their own destiny, where if they meet the team ahead of them, they got enough games in hand that if they win them all or win most of them, they can actually catch up or go ahead. Now you get the Red Sox out of range and all of a sudden they're not quite as dangerous. You know, they say there's no clock in baseball. It's true, but the month of September is a pretty good clock. You know, you're starting to run out of time.
Grounded to second. 2 away. Traveling this season? Take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Here's Posada. And there's a strike.
And you think back in this ball game, and Jorge Posada might have had the key hit in the game in the first inning. The Yankees actually had loaded the bases, and if they don't come through with any runs in the first inning, I think the Orioles feel that feeling of escape. Guthrie might have pitched a whole different game, but Posada came through with a 2-out hit that glanced off the glove of Wigginton at first, and the Yankees jumped out in front.
So he had the big hit in the 9th inning yesterday that led to the big hit, and then he had the big hit in the first inning today. Swing and a miss, couldn't hold up on that breaking ball. So Hernandez pitches a 1-2-3 inning. At the end of 6 1/2, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here in Baltimore. Yankees lead 7-3. Post game along with Kim Jones. Time for the Orioles in-game box score brought to you by McDonald's. Not too many hits in there except for Mandino. 3 for 3, a home run, a double, 2 runs scored. He's caused CC a lot of problems. Adam Jones 2 for 3, and then a hit for Nolan Reimold. Otherwise, everybody's been held down. A couple of RBIs sprinkled in there on sac flies. So here's Reimold, bottom third of the order against Sabathia. And that one's fouled away.
Yeah, we mentioned CC has pitched 5 times against the Orioles previously this year. This is number 6. In those 5 starts, he went 7 2/3, 8, 7, 7, and then when he lost, he went 6 1/3. So he has been deep in the ball games against the Orioles. He's done a lot of bird watching this year.
On the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, 7-3, Yankees lead. Now, Kenny was telling you about, Sabathia could become the first pitcher this year to get to 20 wins. Well, we had to go further than that. The last season in which a Yankee pitcher was the first in the majors to register 20 wins was back in 1978 when Ron Guidry did it on September 4th. He had 5 more wins after that. He went 25-3 that year to win the Cy Young Award and probably should have won the MVP as well. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Reimold down on strikes on CC's 100th pitch. You know who that is? That's Michael Phelps.
He's out of the water.
He's a Baltimore kid, an Olympic swimming hero. And wears the hat a little like CC, tilted, the bill.
I don't think anybody will ever have a better Olympics than he had.
That's pretty good. Here's Tatum. Grounded foul. The 0-1. Drilled to left field. Gardner back, still back, and he's going to play it off the wall. Tatum is held to a single. Ball gets past everybody, but CC's backing up. Smart play by Tatum. You're down by 4 runs. You don't want to try to take the extra base. Tomorrow, the Yankees close out the series with Baltimore before heading back to the Bronx. Coverage will start at 12:30 with batting practice today, presented by Audi, followed by the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Kenny and I are back in the booth to close out the series. Andy Pettit is back on the mound. Yankees and the Orioles tomorrow at 12:30, only on Yes.
A couple of things on that ball hit by Tatum. Number 1, he hit it very hard. And number 2, Gardner made a heck of a play on the carom off the wall. He didn't get too close to the wall.
This tourist pops one up. Granderson for the second out.
Here it is again. Now watch Gardner right here. He says, I can't catch it. Let me get back. Barehanded and gets the ball back in. He's got 11 assists. Yeah, Tatum wouldn't have made second base. And the throw is somewhat offline. It eludes Jeter, eludes Cano. And CC comes into your picture, and he's the one who actually regains coverage of the fumble. Well, that's tomorrow. Or maybe today. There's a lot of college football in it.
Brian Roberts swings at the first pitch. Lofts it to Colin Curtis. And that's the final out of the 7th. So CC has got 7 in his quest for 20. He's 6 outs away. Yankees lead 7-3. As we go to the 8th inning, let's take a look at the in-game box score for the Yankees, brought to you by McDonald's. Derek Jeter with a hit, 2 ribbies, and 2 runs scored. Nick Swisher an RBI double. Lance Berkman's been held hitless. Alex Rodriguez and Robinson Cano continue their hot hitting. Jorge Posada, big 2-run single in the 1st inning. Granderson a walk and a run scored. Gardner 2 for 3, a double, a triple, and a run scored. Colin Curtis has been held hitless in 3 at-bats. The tools of the trade as the Yankees prepare to come up against a new Oriole pitcher. He was closing for the Orioles for a while, now not in that situation anymore. Alfredo Simon.
Yeah, Simon had 17 saves during the course of the year, but in 48 innings, had a propensity for giving up the home run. He gave up 10 home runs. When your closer's giving up homers, that's not a good thing.
So yesterday, check swing by Granderson, set the third base on Ted Barrett. Koji Uehara gave up that home run to A-Rod. So I asked Showalter today, did you check with the pitcher to see how he is? He said, you know, he's not a kid. He's handled a lot of these moments in Japan. He said, but I did buzz his tower just to see how he's doing. And I said, buzzed his tower? He said, well, I walked by, see how he was doing.
Did he have to buzz his tower or his interpreter's tower?
I think he buzzed them both. That is a sky-high pop-up. Markakis is there. 1 away.
Koji had been, we talked about Hideki Matsui. He was a longtime teammate of Matsui's in Japan with the Yomiuri Giants, or the Tokyo Giants.
Hey, you know what we never had an opportunity to do yesterday? Congratulate Don Mattingly.
Well, we had the quiz.
Yes, we did have the quiz.
We both agreed that he would be a good manager.
Yeah, so congratulations, God, to Donnie, one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, and a baseball lifer, and put in his time as a coach.
He did.
And so many people in baseball are happy for him, Kenny. It's amazing. He will be the manager of the Dodgers, as Joe Torre is not going to return to that role.
I am very happy for Donnie, and gets to lead one of the legendary franchises in baseball.
Yes, he does. The 0-1. Showalter was telling a story. He had gotten a call from ESPN where he was working before becoming the Oriole manager, and they asked him, would you come on SportsCenter to talk about Mattingly getting the Dodger job? And Showalter loves Mattingly and said, oh, absolutely. Well, when do you need me? They said, well, 10:15. And this was like at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He said
10:15 in the evening.
10:15 in the evening for the late SportsCenter. And he goes, oh, okay. You know, I don't know how long the game is going to be. Well, it ended, but it just ended with that one is chopped off the plate. It's going to be a tough play. It's going to be a single for the 3rd hit for Gardner. He has a single, a double, and a triple.
Well, the Yankees are going to have to send some batters to the plate for him to have a chance. That strikeout in the 6th inning hurt him.
Now the Baltimore chop.
Yeah, we should explain what that was. Back in the day when the Orioles were in it, it used to be Wee Willie Keeler, and they perfected. They had the ground in front of home plate really, really hard, and the hitters perfected slapping down on the ball, having it bounce in the air, similar to the one that Gardner just hit, and beating it out for hits. There weren't many home runs in those days. It was the dead ball era. And that became known as the Baltimore chop, as the whole team kind of perfected that stroke.
Just to finish up about Showalter,
Okay.
so game ends 10-15. He's just suffered a really tough loss, and he told them, listen, nobody loves Don Mattingly more than me, but I'm not talking about Don Mattingly after a loss like that. So he didn't go on. Gardner just dives back.
Gardy at first with 41 stolen bases. He might have been thinking of 42, but he just gets back ahead of the tag of Wigginton. Certainly didn't deter his ability to take a decent lead. That's one of the best backdrops in baseball. Well, not a backdrop, but out in right field.
Beautiful ballpark.
It is just beautiful here.
Almost got him there.
It's twice it's been close at first base. You know, you have maxed out your lead when the play starts becoming that close at first base.
Runner goes. Throw to second, not nearly in time. In fact, it goes into center. So a stolen base for Gardner.
One reason why Tatum wasn't able to get him, it was a low pitch, and I think he had a little bit of a hiccup in his throw towards second base. Gardner with the great speed. Man, can he run. 42 steals and 50 attempts. Here's the throw. He had a little bit of a problem on the transfer. Tried to hurry the throw to catch up. The throw runners out as speedy as Gardner. Everything has to be just about perfect. The pitch has to be, you can step into it, get a nice transfer to your hand, and a throw directly over the top with something on it.
Swing and a miss by Curtis.
And even then, if the throw's one side or the other to the bag, you might not get it. And he's fun to watch when he gets on first base. Gardner has scored a run tonight, and he has now scored 86 times this year. Had a little bit of a slump during the season, and then a couple of injuries, and I think that kept him away from the 100 run mark.
Hasn't played every day either. There's a ground ball to second. Roberts will get Colin Curtis as Gardner moves to third. Well, tonight on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Robinson Cano, number 2, Jorge Posada, number 3, CC Sabathia, number 4, Nick Swisher. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Derek Jeter chant rising up here in the sellout crowd at Camden Yards. And that one gets away from Tatum. Here comes Gardner. He will score. So a wild pitch. Yankees lead 8-3.
As Gardner scores for the 87th time.
Good job, buddy.
I don't think Tatum knew where the ball was once it got by him. He stumbles. Yeah, he's looking at where, couldn't find the ball. Gardner scores easily.
Java Chamberlain getting ready, the 1-1. Another wild pitch, but nobody's on base, so it will not be scored that way.
Let's see how many wild pitches that Simone had. Well, actually, that was his first one of the year. And a run scored.
costly. 8-3 Yanks. Jeter scalds a single to center field. Swinging the bat a lot better, and he picks up his second hit of the night.
Yeah, multi-hit game. And he's got a 2-for-4-9 working with 2 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Right down the middle, back through the middle. That was simple against Simone.
Actually 2 for 3. Hit by pitch, sack, fly.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hit by pitch.
So now on this road trip, he's 9 for 31. Swisher swings and misses. He's giving Tatum a workout.
He's had to scramble like a goalie. He's on the wrong end of a power play.
The 2-1. Lined into left field. It's a base hit in front of Reinhardt. So Swisher, who had been 1 for his last 14 before the double in the 6th, now picks up a single here in the 8th.
Swish back in the lineup tonight as a designated hitter, and he designates this one into left field for a base hit, his 2nd straight hit. Had a big RBI double in the 6th inning. What did Nick tell you? He had to get back in the lineup, but he wanted to keep his stroke going?
Yep. Eduardo Nunez is going to pinch run for Swisher. So he says he's about 90%, but he wanted to be in there. First cortisone shot he ever received. And they find the spot on your knee, he was telling me, and then the doctor took out the needle. And he said, I've never seen a needle that long. And I looked at Steve Donahue, one of the trainers, and said, well, Steve, what? And Steve had a dive on him that he wouldn't run, and then the doctor put the needle in the joint.
I can remember getting those in my elbow before I had surgery. I had to do it if I wanted to keep playing that year.
I've had a couple of those cortisone shots in my shoulder. They're no fun. It feels like your whole shoulder's starting to heat up. It just feels unnatural. Kenny's still shuddering. So you got to credit Steve Donahue with the assist and the pin. And the whole idea of those cortisone shots, that they put the needle in, and then they try to search for the hot spot where it really hurts. So they're moving the needle around.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, I remember that.
Top slowly towards second, and they retire Berkman, and that'll do it here in the 8th. But the Yankees get a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead 8-3. Well, CC Sabathia will turn his potential 20th win over to Java Chamberlain to pitch the 8th inning. You see the numbers on Java: 66 strikeouts in 63 in the 3rd innings, less than a hit per inning, and a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Now, very quickly on Sabathia, Kenny, we gave the stats when he started. First time through the order, the Orioles were 3 for 7 with a walk and a sac fly. That's 429. Second time, 2 for 8 with a sac fly. That's 250. And after that, 2 for 9, a 222 average. But there was the home run by Andino. So he pitched to the way the stats lay out, that he pitches better as he goes along.
Yeah, he smells the finish line. He starts getting his act together, and all of a sudden it gets more difficult to handle for the hitters.
Well, here's one hitter he couldn't handle, Andino. And there's a strike from Chamberlain, one-on-one. Andino, a walk, a double, and a home run. Just a triple away from the cycle.
You know, you get the feeling that CC gets a feel for what's working and what isn't as he goes along, and then he stays with it and then starts to retire the hitters with what's working that night. I don't think he had a pretty good breaking ball tonight.
High fly ball, center field. And the catch is made by Graham.
Yeah, I don't think his breaking ball was that good, but his changeup and his fastball was okay, but his changeup got him through.
Somebody asked Joe Girardi today, as great as CC has been, is it hard to believe that he's never won 20 games? And Joe goes, no. He said, it's really hard to win 20 games. He said, look how few people do it. He said, that's not an easy thing to do. He said, so no, it doesn't surprise me. I think CC's had 19 twice, including last year, and he had a chance at his 20th in the final game of the year and didn't get it done against his final start against Tampa Bay. Didn't get it done. Grounded right side through, a base hit for Markakis. Here's more of what Girardi said about CC before the game in the Yankee dugout.
I would love it. You know, I laughed when everyone said, well, do you think it's something about 20 that he can't get, you know? And he only went through 8 scoreless innings down in Tampa, and what, they get 3 hits? So I don't think that has really much to do with it. But I'd love to see him get it because I think it is a milestone. I do. Because not that many people do it every year.
Well, he's now 5 outs away from getting it done. Here's Ty Wigginton with a runner on first. In fact, during the expansion era, only 4 pitchers had as many career wins as CC. And CC comes into this game with 155 before winning 20 games in a season for the first time. Now, the most wins ever before winning 20 was Mike Massini. He had 269 before his 20th win in his last start in 08. Ground ball to second. This should be 2. There's 1. And there's 2. So now CC is 3 outs away. The others, Don Sutton, Bob Welch, and David Wells. We go to the 9th. Yankees are up 8-3.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Can football announcer Andres Cantor make any sport exciting?
Ha sido una partida intensa hoy. Jadrowski está pensando. Veamos qué va a hacer. Moverá la reina, moverá el caballo. ¡Qué tensión! ¡Viene! ¡Gol!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Cadillac Escalade, the most acclaimed luxury SUV ever.
Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer or CadillacTristate.com for this attractive offer.
Cadillac, the new standard of the world.
1 appetizer plus 2 entrees equals Chili's $20 dinner for 2. Share 1 of 5 appetizers, like our famous Texas cheese fries. Then choose 2 freshly prepared entrees from 14 Chili's favorites, like our chicken crispers with new sweet and smoky sauce, our new slow-smoked honey chipotle baby back ribs, or grilled all-white meat chicken fajitas served over a bed of sizzling peppers and onions. Grab a friend and get 1 appetizer plus 2 entrees with Chili's $20 dinner for 2.
Tomorrow on an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. It's all about the AL East as Joe recaps the crucial series against the Rays and a run-in with the Orioles. And the AL East confrontations don't end there as the skipper previews the Yankees' final homestand against the Rays and Red Sox. It's an all-new Joe Girardi Show tomorrow at 5:30.
Only on Yes.
Hey, after the last out, don't miss the WB Mason postgame as Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones recap all the action from this game against the Orioles, and also they take a close look at the playoff races around the majors. Plus, hear Joe Girardi's reaction from his press conference. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. So a new pitcher for the Orioles, it's Rick Vandenherk. Rick Vandenberg.
The Orioles got him in a trade with the Marlins for Will Oman. Remember the left-hander beginning of the year working out of their bullpen? Well, he got shipped to Florida, and the Orioles got Vandenberg in return. Now, Vandenberg was actually born in the Netherlands, and I think he speaks about 5 or 6 different languages.
Here's Alex Rodriguez against Vandenberg. And there's a strike. Now, Vandenberg was being considered to start the game that Arrieta was going to start against the Red Sox next week. Arrieta was told today he was being taken out of the rotation. Young pitcher, want to keep his innings down. His arms barking just a little bit. So Vandenberg was being considered as the guy to move in, but since he's pitching tonight, I guess you could pitch 1 inning and still use this as a throw day. So Jake Arrieta has shown Buck Showalter enough that, okay, shut you down now, keep you healthy. And they might do the same thing soon with Brian Mattis.
Yeah, that's a distinct possibility.
So this is the Yankees' first look at Rick Vandenberg. And the 1-2. 2-2. Javier Vasquez and Chad Godin warming for the Yankees. The good old double-barreled action.
Now, we mentioned Vandenberg, born in the Netherlands. I guess the most famous major leaguer born in the Netherlands, Bert Blyleven, who I have a feeling has a legitimate shot at making the Hall of Fame pretty soon.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Vandenberg kind of comes by way of third base. Let's look at how he did it pitch by pitch, brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
Yeah, he ran the count deep on Alex Rodriguez before putting him away. Let's see how he did it. Michael's right. Big, tall right-hander. That first pitch is strike. Tried to get in there again and miss. 1-1. Then back to the outside corner for strike 2. There's a breaking ball. Alex just spoiled it. Tried it again. He wouldn't chase it. Pitches low, counts run full, and then he comes back to the sweeping breaking ball and strikes him out.
Here's Cano. 1-0. Cano 2-for-4 tonight. 2-run home run, his 28th of the year, giving him 101 ribbies. A 2-run shot in the 5th inning.
Tell you what, when you want driving 100 runs for the first time, man, you want to do it every year.
That's a nice way to do it.
Oh, isn't it? With a home run.
I actually thought in spring training, I had told him, I thought he was going to drive in 120. But I think that the injuries to Alex have hurt, and that there's been some slumping on the team. Derek's only hitting 260, so maybe there haven't been as many people on as I thought there would be when he was batting 5th. But 101's not bad as he works a walk. He might pick up another 9.
Yeah, he could. 110.
Yeah. So here's Posada. Jorge tonight with a big 2-run single in the 1st inning, then fouled out to 3rd, flied out to left, and then struck out swinging in the 7th. We're in the 9th. Yankees lead 8-3. They're not holding Cano on at first. Wigginton behind him. 1-0. So 5 straight balls. Six straight, and now Tatum wants to talk. Andy Pettitte, the starter tomorrow, and his success. He's got 3 starts. 3 starts he can make before the playoffs begin. It's so important to the Yankees' success in the postseason.
Yeah, great anticipation for Pettit's start tomorrow. Even you get the feeling from Andy too. He's ready to get back out there. I mean, it's been since July that he's pitched in a major league ball game. And here's somebody who is used to being out there every 5th day, helping his team win. I mean, baseball players are very competitive people. I mean, they do this 162 games in 180 days, so they are very busy at their craft. So each and every day, you can go home a winner or a loser as a team. And according to your individual efforts, going towards those losses or wins, that's probably how you feel about yourself going into the next game. And as far as pitchers, you got 4 days to stew or 4 days to worry if you can repeat your performance in a win.
Third base umpire Barrett says he went around, so the count full at 3-2.
So this has been taken away from Andy Pettitte for a couple of months now. And it's something he's been doing for a great majority of his life.
Runner goes, 3-2 is grounded foul. A Yankee low grids there.
And
Francisco Cervelli.
And to add further to that, once you're finished playing, you have to find another outlet. I mean, that's a strong pull, a competitive pull.
Well, he might have got a taste of post-career these last 2 months. Runner goes again, 3-2, and he walked him.
And that's why I play golf.
Tomorrow, you're not going to want to miss an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. With the playoffs just around the corner, Joe offers his thoughts on the team's chances, including a preview of next week's huge homestand against the Rays and the Red Sox. It's all new tomorrow at 5:30, right after the game only on Yes. And we should mention with Jake Arrieta, he's going to have a procedure done to remove a bone spur from his elbow. It's kind of a preventative. He's not had a problem with his arm, but they did find a bone spur in there, so they want to remove it before it causes a problem. You know, that could cut into a ligament. Now, Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, goes out, wants to talk to Vandenhurst.
There is Arrieta. It certainly could cause irritation, and then all of a sudden you're getting cortisone shots.
Now, the coaches on Buck's staff, they're also being evaluated, and he was given the right to bring in all of his own coaches. And he said, well, I'm going to stay with the guys I have now. I want to see how they do. It's only fair. And then at the end of the year, he's going to hire his own staff. Maybe he'll keep some of the Oriole coaches. But these guys are also trying to impress the manager as well. There's a strike to Curtis Granderson. So a strike out of A-Rod, then walks to Cano and Posada. Now, unless there's a double play, Brett Gardner's going to have an opportunity to go for the cycle. He needs a home run. He is on deck.
Might come up with the bases loaded.
Romulo Sanchez just called up a couple of days ago, right before the beginning of this series. We saw him in spring training. He's getting ready. Deep to right, but foul.
A little too quick.
Driven deep to center field. Going back, Jones. Still back. Looking up, he leaps. See ya! A 3-run home run for Curtis Granderson. And the Yankees lead 11-3.
Well, Vandenhurst did not want to walk the bases loaded. Fell behind Granderson after walking Cano and Posada. Granderson a little too quick on the previous pitch and pulled it foul, but this time he was right on time. Little cutter, middle of the plate, maybe slider. He didn't miss it. Good effort by Jones in center. But he comes up short as that ball is almost straight away center field for a 3-run homer.
Well, Gardner would like to go back-to-back and get himself a cycle.
There it is, off into the night here at Camden Yards. Gardner's got to look for something on the inner half and spin on it.
So it looks like CeCe's going to get his 20th win unless something unforeseen happens in the bottom of the ninth. Yankees are up by 8. And Gardner goes down swinging, so he will not get the cycle for the second out.
I'll take a 3 for 5.
And here's Greg Golson, the pinch hit for Colin Curtis. There's a strike.
Joe Girardi getting Golson at bat. This is kind of an unusual move. They put a right-handed hitter up for a lefty hitter with a right-hander on the mound.
Curtis had such a bad game, 0 for 4, and he's really struggling. He's 0 for his last 14. So Joe wants to get a look at Golson and give him another AB.
Golson will be in right field for the bottom of the ninth inning.
Line drive into left field, coming on Reimold, and he makes the play for the final out. But the Yankees get 3 more runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. The 1 hit, Curtis Granderson's 19th home run of the year. It was to center field. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Yankees are up by
8. The 3 Series exemplifies the essence of BMW. It has the ingredients of the perfect sports sedan.
Everything is balanced, everything works in harmony, everything is perfectly engineered. That's why car and driver staff buy this car more than any other.
Our impressive offer of 0.9% financing or pay nothing down is now extended to all 2011 3 Series models.
If you were a candy man with eyes made of gumdrops, a heart filled with marzipan, then I'd tell you so soft that I wouldn't share, 'cause no one can have you but me. You're so sweet, you're so sweet.
Sweet Million is sweeter than sweet, which is sweet. Sweet Million from the New York Lottery. Your best chance to win $1 million for $1.
Who loves you, pretty baby? Who's gonna help you through the night?
Jersey Boys is celebrating its 5th anniversary, and the whole town is loving it.
Who loves you?
Who loves you? Besides Ice.
Who loves you? Who loves you?
Who loves you?
Who loves you, baby?
Who loves you, pretty baby?
Who loves you?
Well, there are wholesale changes for the Yankees here in the bottom of the ninth inning. That's Greg Golson taking over in right field. He had pinch hit for Curtis. Now the third baseman is Kevin Russo. Nunez moves from the DH to short. Ramiro Pena takes over at second for Robbie Cano. And Juan Miranda will take over at first. Behind the plate, Francisco Cervelli. And the new pitcher for the Yankees is Chad Godin. So a little bit of Tampa, Florida here on a September in Baltimore.
There are the numbers for Chad Godin, making his 38th appearance. And he is in charge of getting the last 3 outs here. Then they could turn out the lights before tomorrow afternoon's day game.
We'll come on the air at 12:30 on Yes. It's a 1:35 first pitch. Buck Showalter gets the changes from home plate umpire Tony Randazzo. Jake Fox 0 for 3 will face Godin. The Yankees are 3 outs away from getting CC Sabathia the first 20-win season of his career. There's a strike to Fox. Toronto leading Boston 4-3 bottom of the 8th. And Tampa Bay has tied up the Angels at 3, and they're in extra innings. They're starting the top of the 10th. And Nancy Newman will have all of the details on the post-game show. So stay tuned for that. There's a ground ball to Kevin Russo. 1 away.
I'll tell you, with Pena, Nunez, and Russo in the infield, you could just about interchange positions with them. They could all play all three. Maybe Russo's a stretch at short, but certainly we've seen Pena at second, short, and third, and we've seen Nunez at short and third.
Corey Patterson is going to pinch hit for Adam Jones. You wonder if Jones hurt himself leaping for Granderson's home run. Jones was 2 for 3 in his 3 at-bats. Patterson pops it up. Miranda with the call, as is his right, and he puts it away. And the Yankees are 1 out away from a victory. And that'll leave it up to Nolan Reimold to keep this game alive. CC's had 2 19-win seasons and was never able to get to that 20 mark. He has won a Cy Young, winning 19 games with the Indians. And you would think that right now he's probably the favorite in the American League to win the Cy Young. There's still a couple more starts to come. But the 20 would be a nice cherry on top for a season. Pitches low, 1-0. $155 wins in the bank for Sabathia, but never 20 in a season. There's a strike. Outside. Reimold 1 for 3. Slow roller back to the mound. Godin fields, fires, and fires into foul territory. So Reimold's going to reach.
See how they score that. A wild throw by Godin, and I haven't seen how they scored it. It looks like it's going to be a base hit for Reimold.
He'll take it.
Yeah.
So here's Craig Tatum.
Have to get the white out though. They haven't used it in a few ball games here.
This whole road trip, it seems like every single game has been decided on the last pitch. So they have not had a lead of this type in a long, long time. A chance for Joe Girardi to exhale.
8 of the last 10 games decided by 1 run. And is playing some tight games.
Not holding on Reimold at first. 2-1 count on Tatum. 1 for 2 with a walk. And now the O's are down to their final strike. The Orioles have only lost 4 of the 13 series they've played under Buck Showalter. Yankees win this one, they win the series, and tomorrow they go for the sweep. They were so close yesterday. Today, not so close. The 2-2 fouled away.
Yeah, a win tonight for the Yankees, and it appears that they will make them 13-4 against Baltimore this year. Well, it's been a one-sided season series with 1 game remaining between the two, and that's tomorrow afternoon. Andy Penn.
The 2-2. That gets away from Cervelli, and that'll allow Reimold to move to second, and it goes into the Yankee dugout. So that's a wild pitch. Lofted to right field. Long run for Golson. He's there. The Yankees win, and CC Sabathia, for the first time in his career, picks up his 20th victory. All Yankees today, they win 11-3, and Sabathia goes to 20-6 and takes another step closer to another Cy Young award. And Godin called the umpires back. He wanted that ball because he wants to give it to Sabathia to commemorate the 20th victory. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. Here's Godin asking for the ball. I don't know why he wanted that one. The final out was caught by Golson. He threw that ball into the stands. So the ball that Godin got is not exactly the last out, but they'll take it. It comes from the bunch, and I'm sure Sabathia will treasure it. It's something that he said he doesn't care about, but Joe Girardi said it's important. It's a milestone, and I'll look back on it and say that was a 20th victory for me. That's a pretty big deal. And there's the ball, so somebody has a souvenir, and Golson didn't realize what it meant. That's right, CC Sabathia is now a 20-game winner. Looks like Kim Jones is got a star of the game, and I think it's Nick Swisher right down in front of the Yankee dugout. Kimberly?
And Michael, you are the king of signs, but right now there is a sign behind it. Swisher is my hero. You are loved. You know that?
Tell you what, it just felt nice to get back on the field and just be with the team. You know, I could not be more happy for CC today. First time 20 wins. You know, it's a great night for us.
What is it like to know that CC, for the first time in his career, as great a pitcher as he's been, reached 20 tonight?
That's crazy. You know, I mean, for a guy like that who's done so much in his career, to finally reach that ultimate goal of 20 wins, which is something that he's tried 3 times before, and to finally get that 20th win tonight, it's a special night for all of us. It's a great team win, and he's been our horse all year long, and he deserves it.
What does it mean to you to get back in there, contribute? RBI double, a single. You're back in there. You're contributing, Nick.
You know, I'm just trying to just provide a little spark for the lineup, you know, and, you know, not being in that lineup for those, 4 or 5 days. I mean, that's tough. But then again, you know, you want to be healthy and you want to go out and get yourself ready to play. But I was glad Skip let me get a chance to play tonight.
You've been doing a lot of watching, and they've been gut-wrenching games.
Right.
Was tonight a chance to exhale just a little bit?
Maybe. You know, I mean, we're out there, we're battling every inning. You know, we're trying to put up as many runs as we can. And tonight we really we battled and got some good ones. I mean, Guthrie had a great game going. And, you know, obviously huge home runs tonight by Curtis was a big one that kind of put it away. But then again, tonight, CC's night.
You are off the charts excited right now. We're going to send it back to Michael, but before we do, tell me this. How crazy were you going? Because you're bouncing all over the field before you got over to me tonight.
I think it's the first time I've smiled the last 4 or 5 days. And just to finally get that chance to get back in the lineup and help your team, especially grinding through what we've been going through, you know, you want to be in there.
There's almost some bleacher creature action behind you right now. Nick Swisher, thank you. Keep smiling.
I will. No problem.
Michael.
All right, thank you, Kim, and thank you to Nick. And he's right. This night is about Sabathia. That's when he came out of the game after 7 innings of strong baseball. Didn't have his best stuff, but made it work. And you have to do that if you're going to win 20 games. Sabathia, a 20-game winner for the first time in his career. We'll be back.
Meet me by the sea again, past the point the shoreline bends. where the sand is soft and warm and hangs upon your golden arm, and time won't move at all.
A Car and Driver's 10 best. And Edmunds' Editor's most wanted. But most impressive, ALG's highest projected resale value.
The wicked fun, wallet smart Mazda 3.
It's, that way. Oh, no.
Lease a 2010 Mazda 3 iSport 4-door for $159 a month for 36 months with $1,753 due at lease signing. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Hello, we're Ocean Spray growers up here in Maine at Cousin Everett's Blueberry Farm to talk about our blueberry juice drinks.
They're made with my sweet ripe blueberries, packed with those antioxidants that are good for you. Tastes real good, too.
To give you an idea, let's whip up a quick sample.
Or you could just try this.
Yeah.
Ocean Spray Blueberry Juice Drinks. Real blueberries, real good.
When I'm working with Benjamin Moore, I feel unrestricted. Wherever I need a little light, a little life, a little jazz, I feel that I have a rainbow at my fingertips, and there's no limitation to what I can create of a room.
Create your own design with Ben. It's eco-friendly and comes in every Benjamin Moore color, making fabulous style easy and affordable. And it's only available at your Benjamin Moore retailer, not at the big box stores. Capture any color and find its perfect match with the Ben Color Capture iPhone app. Download it today.
For the city that never sleeps, now there's a channel that never stops. New York Nonstop.
Talk Stoop. Candid conversations with people you know.
Nonstop foodies, eating in or eating out, the flavors of the city. Only in New York. If you're talking about it, we're talking about it.
The Debrief, local news like you've never seen it done before.
Thread New York, your inside line on fashion. For the city that never sleeps, now there's a channel that never stops. New York Nonstop. Find us on NBCNewYork.com/nonstop.
Yankees win 11-3. Let's take a look at the play of the game. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Actually plays today.
Yeah, CC Sabathia. Not a big strikeout night. He had 4. We got Brian Roberts in the first inning. Jake Fox. Fox again. And finally, Nolan Rybal. 4 strikeouts, but a 20-win season. Those are our Geico plays of the game. Big night for CC Sabathia.
And a big night for the Yankees as they win again. Their second straight, 11-13-0 for the Yanks, 3-9-0 for the Orioles. Yankees leave 7 runners on base. The Orioles leave 5. Time of the game just under 3 hours, 2:59. Sabathia 20-6. Guthrie took the loss. CC won 7, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 Ks. Cano picked up his 100th and 101st RBIs. And Granderson, a 3-run home run, his 19th home run of the year. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones. Special thanks to senior producer Bill Bowler, coordinating director John Moore, vice president of operations Ed Delaney, our supervising producer Woody Fryman, and the executive producer of the Yes Network is Mr. John J. Filippelli. Join us again tomorrow for Yankees baseball as the Bombers take on the O's from Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Coverage begins at 12:30 on the Yes Network. Once again, the final score, Yankees 11 and the Orioles 3. We'll be back from the booth with some final thoughts in a moment, but for now, let's go to Nancy Newman standing by in our Yes Network studios.
Thank you, Michael. CC 20 indeed. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the WB Mason postgame show. Last night's game needed late inning heroics. Well, tonight the Yankees dominated right from the start. The offense had a big night, but the spotlight was on CC Sabathia tonight, the 3-time 19-game winner, making his 3rd try at a 20th win this season. He got it. In the big picture, the Yankees take the first 2 of 3 in Baltimore, looking to finish this tough road trip strongly. The offense comes alive behind CC, scoring 11 runs. And not only is 20 wins in a season a first for CC, but he's the first pitcher to reach the 20-win plateau this year. So let's take a closer look at CC's winning night. CC continuing to add to his case for the Cy Young. This is in the first, and Nick Markakis chopping it back to the mound. CC turns, goes to second, and they do get Robert Andino in the rundown. Nicely executed. Bottom 2 gets Brian Roberts looking at strike 3 in the 4th. A runner on first. He gets Craig Tatum to ground into the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. In the 6th, freezes Jake Fox, the second out of the frame. Then in the 7th, CC fans Nolan Reimold, his 4th strikeout of the game. So not a big strikeout game for CC, but a fine line and the victory. 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and the 1 home run to Andino. But just 3 runs scored for those Orioles, which brings us to the Chevy Player of the Game award, as voted on by you, the fans. CC, of course, takes the honor, adding to his Cy Young argument by winning his 20th game of the year. He is, as I mentioned, the first pitcher in baseball to get that mark this year, and he did so by holding the Orioles to 3 runs over 7 innings. Meanwhile, elsewhere tonight, important scores to tell you about. They're in extras at the Trop, 3 all in the 10th. And in the bottom of the 9th, it is the Blue Jays leading the Red Sox 4-3. So hopefully the Blue Jays hang on there and drop the Red Sox. Now the latest look at the Tri-State Ford standings, and there you have it. The Yankees 1 game up on those Rays, awaiting the final outcome, as we are also awaiting the final score from the Red Sox game. Currently, 1 game margin over the Rays, 7.5 back are those Red Sox. Well, we're just getting started. Still plenty more show to go here on the WB Mason postgame show. When we come back, a check back in with our guys, our play-by-play team, Michael Kay and Ken Singleton. We'll hear from the skipper, Joe Girardi, and some of his players. Plus, we've got highlights from other big games around the majors. Stay with us on this busy night.
The Yankees postgame show on Yes is presented by WB Mason. For office supplies at amazingly low prices, who but WB Mason?
That's 6 so far today.
And it's not even noon.
I don't get it. Why are all of our customers switching to coffee from WB Mason?
Well, they sell Green Mountain coffee.
So?
At great low prices.
So?
With lots of delicious flavors. And 1 cup brewing means no waste, no mess.
Yep, we clean our pots every month.
And WB delivers fresh coffee every day.
Enough already. There's nothing wrong with our coffee. They just don't know what they're missing. Who but WB Mason?
Can your family afford another tax right now? Dick Blumenthal thinks you can. He personally lobbied the U.S. Senate to pass a new national energy tax. It will increase the average Connecticut electric bill nearly $1,000 a year. Gas will increase 68 cents per gallon, and Connecticut will lose over 13,000 jobs. We can't afford another tax, and we can't afford Dick Blumenthal.
I'm Linda McMahon, and I approve this message.
Was it the number 7 train that carried his barrels across the land? Or was 7 simply his lucky number? Some say there were 7 women in his life, but one held a special place in his heart. Truth is, only Jack Daniel knows the true meaning of old number 7. And we won't be hearing from him anytime soon.
Looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. Go ahead, ignore me. But in this turbulent market, you're going to need help protecting some of your assets for retirement. An AXA Equitable Annuity could give you guaranteed income for life. I'd call them, but what do I know? I'm just the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Don't worry, I'm here.
Want guaranteed income for life? AXA Equitable is redefining what you expect from annuities.
Ooh, peanuts.
And we are back on the WB Mason postgame show. The Yankees take the second of 3 versus the Orioles, 11-3. Time now for the Bigelow Tea Booth Report. And we welcome back in our guys, Michael Kay and Kenny Singleton. Fellas, CC, another strong 7 innings and control off a little bit, but you know, CC, he just continues to find a way. So milestone reached, the offense comes alive, and the big thing too, towards the goal of creating more separation over those Rays and Red Sox.
Well, obviously, the big thing is, Nancy, is that you make some separation with the Red Sox. Yeah. I think the Rays are going to be hanging around. I think both teams are going to make the playoffs, but you don't want the threat of the Red Sox being able to catch you because you have 2 separate 3-game series left with them. If you can create some separation, Kenny, you've got a situation where then you could rest some people, because I don't think that either the Yankees or the Rays are obsessed with how they get into the playoffs, just that they get in.
Yeah, they want people healthy going in, too, and you don't want to wear out your starters going down the stretch. I know this is a big night with CC winning number 20, and well-deserved for CC this year, what he's done. I know 5 of his wins have come against Baltimore, so 1/4 of his wins against the Baltimore Orioles, he's always pitched well against them. But I agree with you. The fact is you want everybody healthy. It was nice to see Nick Swisher back in the lineup tonight, even though he was just a designated hitter. Maybe eventually he'll get back out to the outfield, but he had 2 hits and drove in a run tonight.
And yesterday, Brett Gardner first got in the lineup, didn't get a hit today.
Yeah.
He had 3 hits. He had a single, a double, and a triple. So you get those 2 guys, all of a sudden it lengthens the lineup. Now getting back to Sabathia. First time ever, this guy is creating himself a Hall of Fame career. He won a World Series last year. He said all season, I don't care about 20 wins. All I care about is winning another World Series. Well, they're not mutually exclusive. Now he gets to 20 wins. He still has a chance to win another World Series.
That is very true, and I'm sure he would take both of them in one season if it comes that way. But you're right about the future Hall of Fame career. I mean, he's 30 years old. He's got 156 wins in the major league, so he's more than halfway to 300. And you got the feeling that if he stays healthy for the remainder of his career, he's going to have a good shot at 300. They keep saying there's not going to be any more 300-game winners. Well, you keep winning 20. If you keep winning 20 year in or close to it, year in and year out, you're going to have a pretty good shot.
And also with CC Sabathia, I think his team really looks up to him. And Nancy, you also mentioned this. Didn't have great stuff today. Kenny, if you're going to win 20 games, you've got to win some games where you don't have your best stuff. He didn't have his best fastball today. He didn't have his best breaking pitch, but he used his changeup cleverly. And for a pitcher to be able to get a win when you don't have your best stuff, that's how you get victories like 20.
Yeah, and also you mentioned during the course of the game, Michael, his statistics during a game are very interesting because if you don't knock him out of the game early, he gets better as the game goes along, and that's what most of the great pitchers do. They find a way to win the game. They figure out what's working and what's not. You mentioned tonight was his changeup was his best pitch. He hung some curveballs. His fastball didn't have the life that we saw on Monday in Tampa Bay against the Rays, but he won the game because he limited the number of hits. I think he only had 1 walk tonight, so that's how you win ball games. You hang in there, and the offense gave him big-time support tonight.
Now, also, something that's kind of flying under the radar, if you look at the left side of the Yankee infield, they're starting to swing the bat a lot better. Alex Rodriguez, in the 11 games since he came up the DL, has been on fire. Now 25 home runs. He's already been in the 100 ribby category. Derek Jeter's now hitting about 333 on this road trip. Remember how poor it was in the last homestand, and before that road trip where he didn't hit even 200. This is the Derek Jeter that they expect to see.
Yeah, I think you're getting closer to postseason. At least Derek senses that, and he wants to have that usual Derek Jeter postseason. Right now, with the 2 hits tonight, he's got a 7-game hitting streak.
And we're talking about getting healthy. We're talking about people getting their strokes down. Tomorrow's start goes a long way toward telling us how the Yankees can do in the postseason. Andy Pettitte will get the start for the New York Yankees. He's been on the DL for close to 2 months with a groin injury. I spoke to him today. He said he feels absolutely fine. They don't know how long he's going to be able to go. Probably 75 to 80 pitches. He's got 3 starts to get himself ready for October.
Well, and one thing about him coming back tomorrow, and I think it's not a mistake that he's pitching against the Baltimore Orioles because he's pitched well at Camden Yards. He's pitched well in his career against Baltimore. So I think if you're going to pitch him against any team, this is the one he would feel most comfortable coming back against after a 2-month layoff. The man is 27-6 against Baltimore in his career, and don't think that the Orioles don't know that as well.
And one thing you also have to do, you can't just dismiss these 2 wins because it's against the Orioles.
No.
These aren't the Orioles that are 30 games under 500. They've been one of the best teams in baseball since August 3rd. Buck Showalter has made them a tough out every single time, and I really believe, and we said this yesterday, Kenny, that a home run like the one that Alex Rodriguez hit, that could be a turning point in the season. You turn back to it and go, remember that home run on that Friday in Baltimore? Then the Yankees took off. That could be that big of a home run.
We saw in our open tonight the home run that he hit last May 8th here, 2009. Shortly after that home run, the Yankees took off and were on their way to the winner of the World Series. Now, let's see if they can repeat it after that home run last night.
All right, so we recap. Yankees get a victory 11-3. CC Sabathia wins his first 20th game. He's never had a 20-win season in his life, and the Yankees are attempting to put more separation between themselves and the Red Sox, and of course they're worried about the Rays as well, but they'll have 4 games at Yankee Stadium to do that starting on Monday. They could do that themselves. With the Red Sox, they don't come in until Friday, so the Yankees could put some separation and put the Red Sox to sleep before they ever land in New York City, Nancy.
All righty, guys, perfectly put. Always good to see you, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Sleep fast.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Nancy. You too.
Okay. We'll do. All righty, here's a look now at the Yankees' upcoming schedule, courtesy of Jaguar. Now, tomorrow's game between the Yankees and the Orioles features the return, as the fellas just talked about, Andy Pettitte. Coverage on Yes begins at 12:30 p.m. Then when the game is over, the Yankees head right back to the Bronx for their last regular season homestand, starting with the first of 4 against Tampa Bay on Monday. So the big homestand coming up, the Rays and the Red Sox. Coming up when we come back, we'll hear from the skipper, Joe Girardi, as his team is rolling in Baltimore, going for a sweep tomorrow. More on today's 11-3 win.
And now I'll turn it over to the Gecko.
Thank you, sir. As we all know, Geico has been saving people money on RV, camper and trailer insurance, as well as motorcycle insurance. Sorry. Technical difficulties.
What about this?
What's this one do? Maybe that one.
Okay, let's keep rolling. We run motorcycle insurance?
Take 15 minutes to see how much you could save on motorcycle, RV, and camper insurance.
Oh, are you kidding me up? That was a strike. What are you doing out there? Where'd you get those clothes? It's style, Chief. You're out of here. Let's go.
Don't get thrown out of the game for bad style. Get great steals on Hager Upgrade apparel, now available at Kohl's. Visit HagerUpgrade.com today.
Imagine yourself here in the beautiful Green Mountains of Vermont. A perfect place for the whole family or for those seeking adventure. Enter to win the Green Mountain Getaway at VermontVacation.com/playball for your opportunity to indulge. One grand prize winner will receive a 3-night stay at the Equinox Resort and Spa in Manchester, Vermont, plus a $500 gift card for the Manchester Designer Outlets. Serenity awaits you. Enter now at VermontVacation.com/playball. A new chapter has been written at PinstripeBible.com. Its all-new design, frequent daily updates, and enhanced user commenting system make it a must-read for every Bronx Bombers fan. Make yourself well-versed in everything Yankees at the new PinstripeBible.com.
Jaguar Platinum coverage is not just a warranty. It's a belief in everything we do. It's a 5-year, 50,000-mile promise. With complimentary scheduled maintenance, no-cost replacement of wear and tear items, and 24/7 roadside assistance. Because when you create the most beautiful, fast cars on Earth, you create an ownership experience to match. Jaguar's best-in-class Platinum coverage is included on all 2011 Jaguars. See your tri-state area Jaguar dealer for details.
It's Sunday. Time for football on Verizon Fios. The NFL in 100% fiber optic HD quality. That's a good start. But what's this? I can check my fantasy stats without changing the channel and get an alert anytime my team enters the red zone. And then watch every key play on NFL Red Zone. But you can't get any of this with Time Warner Cable. It's time for Fios. Visit Verizon.com/getFios.
The Yankee offense very much alive tonight. A 2-run single by Jorge Posada got things going in the first, and they never looked back. Welcome back, everybody, to the WB Mason postgame show. The Yankees are finishing up a season-long 9-game, 10-day road trip strongly, having taken the first 2 in Baltimore. And although CeCe didn't have his great command tonight, he did limit the Orioles to 3 runs, while his offense came through in a big way, never trailing in this one. And CeCe, the first pitcher in the majors to 20 wins this season. Our Kim Jones led off the questioning. The manager's report is brought to you by Geico.
Joe, how good do you feel for CeCe, first in the majors to 20?
Really happy for him. He has been our ace all year, really since he's got here. And to get to 20 wins, it's quite an accomplishment. And we talked about in the pregame, there's only a few pitchers that do it every year.
And for him to do it for the first time in his career, as great as he's been, and he's been a Cy Young winner, as you know, to do it right now for this team this year.
Well, it's real important, and I think it also tells you how difficult it is to win 20 games. As good as CeCe has been, it's the first time in his career that he's done it.
You talked last night about hopefully maybe some momentum, maybe a not one-run game type of thing.
Yeah.
Did this one feel maybe just a tiny bit more relaxed for you at all?
Well, we got the 3-0 lead, and then they got back in at 3-2, and then we tacked on some runs and kept tackling. And it's nice to get some guys off the field a little bit early tonight and not have to use a whole lot of our bullpen. We only used 2 guys tonight. CeCe always gives you distance, but it was nice.
Everybody came out was okay?
Yeah.
Joe, do you get the sense that 20 is meaningful to CC?
Oh, I think so. I think it's meaningful to any pitcher, and I think as he gets older, he'll appreciate it more. But I think CC realizes how difficult it is. As good as he's been, it's the first time he's done it.
Joe, tonight you got production up and down the lineup, including Swisher back in there, and so happy to be. You obviously have to like that you had a lot of guys contributing.
We did. Gardy had a good night too. We got him back yesterday, and he swung the bat extremely well. We had a lot of people. Jeet had good at bats, driving in runs for us, doing what he had to do, a sac fly and ground ball. Really happy with the production of the lineup.
Do you feel like you have a chance this weekend, Joe, and you've already done it twice, but to kind of turn around a trip that maybe you would have gone home with not a great feeling, but it seems like you have a chance to turn around the feel of this road trip?
We do, and it was tough. It was tough the first two cities we went to, and we have a chance to turn around, as you said. Tomorrow's a big day for us because Andy's going, and we'd like to see him pitch well and come out of it healthy, and that would be a big plus.
Joe, what does it mean for Robbie Cano to get 100 RBIs? He's wanted that for a long time.
I think it's big for him. Everyone was concerned who was going to hit fifth for us this year, losing Matsui. And Robbie has stepped in and has been tremendous for us all year long. And in Alex's absence, he's been great in the fourth slot, and his defense is wonderful. I mean, think about the first play of the game that he makes on Brian Roberts. Could have changed the complexion of the game because we saw last week Roberts got a hit, and then Markakis got a hit, and they scored some runs off of CC, and I thought Robbie changed the game.
Joe, for this to be the first Yankees infield for three infielders to have 100 RBI in one season, do you ever take for granted the production that you've gotten from that infield?
No, I started looking at it the other day, and we had Alex over 100, and we had Robbie knocking on the door at 95, and Tex at 99, and then Tex got over, and I saw Robbie at 99, and it's incredible production from those three guys, and they mean so much to this team.
Everybody wondered.
Tonight, our game highlights presented by Land Rover. First batter of the game. How about this? Jeremy Guthrie hitting Derek Jeter. He's hit Yankee batters with 10 pitches over the last 3 seasons. Later in the first, bases loaded and 2 out, and the Yankees pounce on the opportunity. Jorge Posada ripping it off Guthrie, and Ty Wigginton can't make the diving catch. 2-run score. First 2 of the ball game. Top 2, Brett Gardner. Leads off, a liner to center. It gets past Adam Jones. Gardner on his wheels, making it all the way to third for his 6th triple of the year. Gardner would finish up a home run shy of the cycle. He would later score on a sac fly. Bottom 2-3-1 Yankees score 2 on and 2 out, and CC strikes out Brian Roberts, looking to end the inning. Bottom 3-3-2 Yankees, 2 out. CC gets Jake Fox on the check swing. To the 4th. And a leadoff walk by Curtis Granderson. And then Gardner tallies another extra base hit. It's a double off Guthrie, allowing Granderson to get to third. He would score on a ground out. So to the 5th with 1 out, and what about Robbie Cano connecting for a 2-run home run, his 28th of the year? That is a career high, and it also puts him over the 100 RBI plateau, 101 on the season. In the 6th, Nick Swisher starting for the first time in a week. The DH tonight rips it down the left field line. Nolan Reimold, all kinds of trouble with that. That allows Jeter to score on Swisher's double, and it's 7-3 for the Yankees. And now in the 7th, CC completes his outing, getting Brian Roberts to fly out to right, and that will end the inning. CC, 7 innings of work, 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 Ks, 1 home run to Robert Andino, 104 pitches, 68 of them for strikes. Career win number 156. And of note, Curtis Granderson also added a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, but CC, the first 20-game winner this season. Elsewhere, the other important scores to tell you about. It is a final in 10. The Rays do come back on the Angels. Juan Rivera, a 3-run home run there, but in 10, it's the Rays that prevail. But the Blue Jays do topple the Red Sox 4-3, so they do push the Red Sox back. It was 7 back of the Yankees. It was for the Red Sox to begin the day, so now it is 8. So that separation that we've been talking about is now 8 games between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Coming up when we come back, the man of the moment, CC Sabathia, Mr. 20-game winner. We'll speak with him next.
Monday,
This is a big series.
It's on. The battle for first place continues.
So everybody's locked in, ready to go.
As the beasts of the East,
This one should be good.
collide in the Bronx.
This is a big-time baseball game.
Rays, Yankees. Coverage starts Monday at 6 with batting practice today.
Only on Yes.
We keep losing our coffee customers at WB Mason.
It's a disturbing trend.
WB Mason, the Green Mountain Coffee.
And lots of gourmet flavors.
And low prices.
Their everyday delivery, their one-cup brewing.
No waste, no mess.
Well, I know one company that'll never switch to WB Mason.
Never.
This company.
Right.
Come on, let's get a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee, gentlemen?
Oh, Mama.
Who but WB Mason?
Jeter? The guy's got an edge.
Derek Jeter?
That guy's got an edge.
Oh, definitely an edge.
He's got an edge. Totally.
Porque él tiene un edge. Jeter, you know he's got an edge.
He so has an edge.
He's got an edge, baby.
And I got it with this cool panoramic Vista roof.
Now current competitive lessees can get an Edge all-wheel drive SEL for $229 a month, just $229.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Moving? Call, pack, kick back. That's all it takes to move your DirecTV. One call before moving, pack your receiver, and we do the rest. Just call, pack, kick back, and get 5 months of our best TV package for free, including all our premium movie channels with our exclusive NFL Sunday ticket offer. So make your move easy. Call DirecTV.
Hello, we're Ocean Spray growers up here in Maine at Cousin Everett's Blueberry Farm to talk about our blueberry juice drinks.
They're made with my sweet ripe blueberries, packed with those antioxidants that are good for you. Tastes real good, too.
To give you an idea, let's whip up a quick sample.
Or you could just try this.
Yeah.
Ocean Spray Blueberry Juice Drinks. Real blueberries, real good.
And what a season it's already been for CC Sabathia. The first time he's reached 20 wins, though, and making a case for another Cy Young. He won in 2007, looking pretty good for 2010. And by the way, this is the Yankees' 90th win of the season. Let's hear from CC.
CC, what does it mean to win 20?
You know, I feel good. You know, just more excited that we won the game. And, you know, people stop asking me about it now.
I know that you're the first in the majors to do it. Does that kind of stand out to you, too?
Yeah, it feels, you know, guys have had, you know, good years. You know, Jimenez got to a great start, and, you know, Wainwright's been pitching good. But, you know, to be able to be in this organization on this team and to win 21st in the majors feels good.
Besides when we asked you about it, was it on your mind at all?
No, because every game is so important. You know, I didn't think about it at all in Tampa. Didn't think about it at all tonight. You know, just trying to go out and make good pitches and, you know, help us, you know, try to get a win. And, you know, these guys swung the bat, put some runs up on the board, and, you know, took a lot of the pressure off.
Joe mentioned the first play of the game. Who knows, maybe that changes that inning when Robbie gets to that Roberts ball. You right away lauded it as a great defensive play. Is there a chance that changed things?
Definitely. I mean, you know, you never know what happens, but that ball was right over the bag, right over the mound, and, you know, for him to get to that, you know, get to that ball and make it look like an easy play was tough. So, you know, you definitely got to give him all the credit, you know, for making that play.
How much has the changeup become just such a great pitch for you when you need it?
It's been good the past couple of years, you know, especially when I'm throwing the balls both sides of the plate, and you know, I can use it for a strikeout pitch with 2 strikes, and you know, get some ground balls and try to get some double plays, and you know, it's been working out.
Is that part of the polish of becoming a complete pitcher? It's not a recent thing; it's the past few years, but here you are now, pretty much a finished product.
I don't know about a finished product. You always got to keep working. You always got to, you know, keep trying to learn and you know, study what these guys are doing. But it's definitely helped a lot, you know, to be able to throw that pitch whenever I need to, whenever I want. You know, it gives you a lot of confidence.
CC, you've obviously got bigger goals in mind, but does 20 wins feel like a major accomplishment right now?
Maybe after the season, you know, but right now we're right in the middle of this thing and, you know, still trying to win a championship, trying to win a division first and trying to win a championship. So maybe after the season I can sit back and, you know, enjoy it a little more. But, you know, right now I'm just looking 5 days ahead to who I'm pitching against next.
Did you think you two got a better rhythm and that you felt better as the game went on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I let a couple of calls early, you know, my emotions get the better of me and you know, coming off the field and, you know, we had the lead and I'm still, you know, upset with myself. So, you know, that's something that I always talk about that I battle with, and it kind of got the best of me today a little bit.
Well, with his victory tonight, CC Sabathia has turned in the 6th 20-win campaign by a Yankee dating back to 1996. That's when his current teammate Andy Pettitte ended the franchise's decade-long drought without a pitcher getting to that mark. The last one to do it before CC, Mike Mussina, of course, in his final season a couple years ago. Right now to our play of the game is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey, and this man loomed large offensively. In the 5th, the man aboard for Robbie Cano connects for the 2-run home run off Jeremy Guthrie, his 28th of the year, giving him 101 RBI on the season. That's a career high in RBI and a career high in home runs. As we take a second look, Robbie Cano making it 6-2 for the Yankees at that point. That is your Jack Daniel's play of the game. Let's get Robbie's thoughts. He spoke moments ago with Kim.
Robbie, what do you think of CC becoming the first in the majors to 20 wins?
Well, you know, I'm so happy for him because he's a guy that will work hard, and every time he steps on the mound, he just goes 6, 7, 8 innings and 210 or 20 pitches, which is so really happy for him.
We have seen you play great defense all year long. How did you get to that ball off Brian Roberts' bat to lead off the bottom of the 1st? That was a play that your manager just said might have changed the whole game.
Well, you know, I would say that's something that I would never put in my mind, and I just think that just happened and I just react.
You see CC's reaction? Because he was very happy with you.
No, I didn't see it. You know, I just was watching the throw the first.
How about offensively? What does it mean to join Alex and Teixeira with 100 RBIs?
Oh, it's mean a lot, not only because I just got 100 RBIs, it's because of what, you know, what we today, you know, we haven't done this in a long time. I mean, we just had 8-9 runs in the game, and especially now that we just head-to-head with Tampa Bay. So, good thing, you know, good thing to start from now on, and we just keep doing the same thing with men on base.
Last night you win a squeaker. Today you had more of a cushion, but do these 2 games feel particularly good, given the road trip didn't start, obviously, the way you guys wanted, but does last night and tonight make you feel a little better?
Well, you know, we're not going to feel better until, you know, while we clinch, and because I know every game from now on is mean a lot to us. We just got to just keep go out there and trying to win a game and win series.
So a milestone night for CC, also a milestone night for Robbie Cano. 28 home runs, a career high. We know A-Rod was 100-plus RBI. Also Tex with 100-plus RBI. But Cano joins them, making this the first trio of infielders in Yankees history with 100-plus RBI in the same year. So the numbers keep on coming. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll take a tour around the AL East. The Red Sox in play, so were the Rays. So the latest look at the standings and some finals for you.
"27 championships, a new era, a new decade, dreams of a new dynasty, armed for a fight, loaded with power. Yankees, Orioles. Complete coverage starts tomorrow at 12:30, only on Yes.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Was Abe Lincoln honest?
Does this dress make my backside look big?
Perhaps it will. Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is having a snowball fight with pitching great Randy Johnson a bad idea?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe this was a bad idea.
It's Sunday. Time for football on Verizon Fios. The NFL in 100% fiber optic HD quality. That's a good start. But what's this? I can check my fantasy stats without changing the channel and get an alert anytime my team enters the red zone. And then watch every key play on NFL Red Zone. But you can't get any of this with Time Warner Cable. It's time for Fios. Visit Verizon.com/get Fios.
You could switch for great gas mileage or seats that flip and fold with one hand. You could switch for up to 600 highway miles on a single tank of gas or the 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Over 1,000 people a day are switching to Chevy. They're not just trading in, they're trading up.
Qualified lessees can get a low-mileage lease on this 2011 Malibu LS for around $199 a month. Call for details. Call 877-64-CHEVY.
Looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. Go ahead, ignore me. But in this turbulent market, you're going to need help protecting some of your assets for retirement. An AXA Equitable Annuity could give you guaranteed income for life. I'd call them, but what do I know? I'm just the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Don't worry, I'm here.
Want guaranteed income for life? AXA Equitable is redefining what you expect from annuities.
Ooh, peanuts.
We're back on the WB Mason Postgame Show, and if you'd like to see a condensed version of our Yankees-Orioles recap, just check out Postgame Plus on YesNetwork.com, presented by Jaguar. View the top plays and hear from CC Sabathia on reaching the 20-win mark. Time now for our Johnny Walker defensive play of the game, and this man was big offensively, and he was also flashing the glove as well. Bottom of the first batter, and it's Brian Roberts grounding it right up the middle. Look at Robbie Cano getting to it and slings the ball across his body for the out. Makes a gorgeous play just about every night, as does Tex. Brian Roberts, no go. Take a seat. Robbie Cano getting it across for the out. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. All righty, time now to check elsewhere. Of importance, the Rays playing host to the Angels. The Angels came back on the Rays yesterday. What happened tonight? Let's check out the highlights from the Trop. David Price going for the Rays. Joel Pinheiro off the DL for the Angels. Pinheiro getting Dan Johnson in the fourth. One on in the fifth for Reed Brignac. He homers off Pinheiro. It's a two-out, two-run homer, his eighth, and the Rays are on the board. In the sixth, Pinheiro throws in the dirt to Johnson. Jeff Mathis digging it out, throws to third, and gets Carl Crawford for the second out of the inning. Nice play. Later in the at-bat, Pinheiro getting Johnson to ground to first. That will end the inning. Moving to the seventh, and 2 on for Juan Rivera. Takes the first pitch from Price and sends it up and out. It is a 3-run home run, his 13th of the year. The Angels lead it 3-2, but the Rays would send it to extras. Bottom 10 bases loaded, Bobby Caseva pitching. Willie Ibar grounds it. Brandon Wood throws it away. Jason Bartlett scores, and the Rays walk off. 4-3, they win this thing in 10. Soriano ends up with the victory, improving to 3-2. So Tampa hang on for the 1-run victory in extras. Meanwhile, what happened at Fenway? Blue Jays in town. Jose Bautista versus Josh Beckett wins it. League leading, 49th home run of the season. MLB best, 49th. Top 6, Jose Molina pushing the bunt down the first base line. Saltalamacchia fields, gets Molina at first, but John McDonald scores from second. Nobody backing up at the plate. In the 6th, runner on second, J.D. Drew. To the right side, McDonald, the nice stop, but he throws it away. So Ortiz scores to cut it to a single run. Boston trailing 4-3 in the 9th. Ryan Kalish, the big lead off first, and Greg bounces one. Molina comes up with it and fires to first for the pickoff. Later in the at-bat, Victor Martinez. It's off the wall and left. And he gets all the way to third. It's a triple, so the pickoff looms large. Next batter, Kevin Gregg getting Adrian Beltre to ground to short for the final out. Wow, and that's the way this one ends. So the Blue Jays win it 4-3. They drop the Red Sox. That's the final count. Gregg, his save number 33 on the season. Jose Bautista, 2 for 3 with that solo blast. 49 on the season for him. So the latest look at the standings, this is how it is. A half game was the separation between the Yankees and the Rays to start the day, and that's the way the day ends. Both teams winners, but the Red Sox lose, so they drop a game. They are 8 back of the Yankees, and with only 6 head-to-head meetings remaining, that certainly is big. When we come back, much more for you. We will hear from more Yankee players as the Yankees take the first 2 of 3 in Baltimore. Final count tonight, 11-3.
They are the Yankee captains who inspired courage, persevered through pain, led by example, and set the standard with a relentless will to win. Yankeeography, the Captain's Collection, is a 2-DVD salute to 7 distinguished captains from Lou Gehrig to Derek Jeter. With more than 6 hours of pinstripe pride as seen on Yes Network, Yankeeography, the Captain's Collection is available now.
It's Sunday. Time for football on Verizon Fios. The NFL in 100% fiber optic HD quality. That's a good start. But what's this? I can check my fantasy stats without changing the channel and get an alert anytime my team enters the red zone. And then watch every key play on NFL Red Zone. But you can't get any of this with Time Warner Cable. It's time for Fios. Visit Verizon.com/getFios.
You know, I just got this new Chase checking account. Really? Yeah, check this out. There's no deposit slips or envelopes. Take the check and right in there.
Now Chase ATMs take the worry out of making a deposit.
So that's it? They got it?
Duh.
Oh, it's on the receipt.
It also works with cash.
Really?
Yeah, do you have a 20 or?
Yeah.
Voila.
It's cool.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, wait, where's my 20?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Chase Checking. Welcome to banking with Chase. Chase what matters.
Diabetes scared me to death. There's so much to learn. I just shut down. But Liberty walked me through it all. Like when I test at night or after I eat. Makes a big difference.
When it comes to your diabetes supplies, quality and reliability are important. That's why Liberty offers the AccuCheck Aviva meter. And it's the only meter and strip combination manufactured in the USA. If you're over 65, have diabetes, and are on Medicare, call now and we'll send you a free meter. It offers alternate site testing, so you can test on your arm. No more pricking your fingers, so it's less painful.
It makes a big difference.
And to make it even less painful, the cost of your diabetes testing supplies may be covered by Medicare. Join over 1 million others who have chosen Liberty Medical. Call now and receive a free AccuCheck Aviva meter. Plus, for a limited time, get a free cookbook when you join.
Call 1-800-273-9135. 1-800-273-9135.
And of course, tomorrow afternoon, Andy Pettitte is scheduled to make his return to the Yankees when they finish up their series in Baltimore. Pettitte has not pitched in the majors since July 18th. When he suffered the groin injury, he was 11-2 with a 2.88 ERA at the time he got hurt. Youngster September call-up Chris Tillman starts for the Orioles. That will do it for this edition of the W.B. Mason postgame show. Once again, our final score, Yankees 11, Orioles 3. And CeCe Sabathia joins the 20-win club of First Forum. Again, coverage of tomorrow's series finale begins on Yes at 12:30 p.m. Now for our entire Yes Network team, I'm Nancy Newman. Stay tuned for This Week in Football. It's presented by Geico, and it's coming up next.
This has been a presentation of the Yes Network, your home for the reigning World Series champion New York Yankees and the two-time Eastern Conference champion Nets, plus the original series center stage, the 16-time Emmy-winning Yankeeography, and more. The Yes Network, the #1 regional sports network in the country.
I was deciding what to do with my city thank you points when it happened again. First it was the mailbox, then my squirrel, and now this. So I used my points to make a donation to get the park down the street built. Yeah! When it finally opened, I also used my points for car repair.
Use your City thank you points for almost anything, even local charities. What's your story? City can help you write it.
It's Sunday. Time for football on Verizon Fios. The NFL in 100% fiber optic HD quality. That's a good start. But what's this? I can check my fantasy stats without changing the channel and get an alert anytime my team enters the red zone. And then watch every key play on NFL Red Zone. But you can't get any of this with Time Warner Cable. It's time for Fios. Visit Verizon.com/getFios.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Yes Network.
We had the good, the bad, and the ugly in a wild week one in the NFL. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of This Week in Football, presented by Geico. I am Gordon Damer. The local teams split their week one games, with the Giants christening their new stadium with a victory over Carolina, while the Jets fell short in a low-scoring affair with Baltimore. So much to get into in the course of the next hour. We'll talk about the Giants' season-opening victory at the Meadowlands and look ahead to their week two matchup against the Colts. And talking about bad and ugly, we'll also talk about the Jets' loss to the Ravens, see how they turn it around this week against New England. The Cowboys with a clunker, the Texans take off. And why exactly was that not a touchdown again? But first, we've got to introduce the guys, as always, joined by Howard Cross, Ross Tucker, and Gary Myers. And guys, a big week one, plenty to talk about in the course of that week one in the NFL, but what jumps out most to you, Howard Cross?
All right, we've all heard how football is a game of inches, right? But when inches become yards in special teams, kickoff return, punt return, the Giants just aren't special.
Well, the thing that jumps out to me is the popular thing in light of Monday night's game is just to jump